And don't forget to mute your YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's already muted.
Guess I gotta close this on my other computer too. I forgot that's open. Hey everybody, thanks for coming out to the Glendale Coin Club meeting. Hope you guys are all doing well. This is the third time, I guess, we're trying this online, so hopefully you guys can all hear us well and see the camera no problem, and everything's going good on that end. Walt Ostromecki, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. We definitely have a great program tonight, and thank you for helping to arrange that. We got JW Coins and Hobbies. Thanks for coming in. And I'm not going to go through and say hello to everybody. I want to get right to it and get to our announcements, and then so we can get to our speaker, and then to the show and tell, and then to the giveaways, and then to the auction and all that. So there we go. So again, thanks for everybody who's popping in. Really appreciate it. Seen a lot of the members of our local coin club, as well as just people from all over the world. So that's great to see. So again, what we do usually at our coin club meetings is we start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'll get the flag here for us all. And if you guys want to stand at home and look at the flag and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance, I encourage you to do so. So you ready for that, Don?
I am.
All right, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much for that. Put the flag to the side here. All right, so for those of you that aren't familiar with the club, I know some people are watching live that may not know, and some people might watch this a day or a month or a year from now may not know. We are the Glendale Coin Club, Glendale, California. It was started in March of 1959. We usually meet the second Friday of the month, and we have a meeting room at the local library. They have a community meeting room, but we've been shut out of the meeting room for a little bit while here with everything that's been going on. I'm on screen right there. This is me, Michael Kittle. I'm the current club president. The guy right over here, SoCal Box Breaks, that's Don Berry. He's our current club secretary. So what he's going to be doing is he's writing everybody's name down in chat. So if you have not typed anything in chat yet, make sure you say hi to Don so he writes down your name for the free giveaways. That's how we do that. I hope everybody's been doing well. I really wish we could be meeting at our regular library meeting room. It still looks like that's probably not going to be happening anytime soon. You know, I know things are starting to open up all around the country, but Los Angeles County is definitely a lot slower than the rest of the country with that. And it looks like even when they do start opening things up, public meeting rooms like we have at the library are going to be towards the end of that list on what opens up. And, right there with coin shows too. They're going to be right there at the end of the list as well. A couple quick announcements. Don't forget that Flag Day is this Sunday, so everybody wants to celebrate that. And then next Sunday, June 21st, is Father's Day, so do not forget that. Again, I mentioned this is our third meeting online. If you missed the last two meetings, you can still watch them here on YouTube. Once we do this live stream, they're up there and they're saved, so you can watch those at any time, and I encourage you to do so. Each of those meetings had a really good guest speaker, and we got lots of positive feedback about each of them. So check them out. And some of the feedback we got though was, especially from people watching all over the place and people back on the East Coast and stuff, was that we start our meeting a little too late, especially when we add the auction and all that. So by the time we get done with our meeting, it's already after midnight for them. So that's why we're starting about an hour early here. So this is 6 p.m. Pacific we're starting instead of our normal 7 p.m. slot. So hopefully that doesn't throw off too many of our regular Coin Club members here. But anyway, another thing we do here on YouTube is we earn a little bit of advertising revenue through these videos and through donations that people make during the live stream. Just want to remind everybody, all of that goes right back to the Coin Club. So anything I see from these streams goes right back to the club. So we appreciate all the support. Nightbot, if Nightbot is working in the chat, we'll make some automatic posts about that from time to time. So hopefully that doesn't get a little too crazy. See a lot of people in the chat. There's Phil Iverson and Jack 5 and Majestic, all kinds of people coming in. Thanks for coming in. So remember, to get a raffle ticket from Don tonight, All you got to do is say something in chat, and if you're not sure if he's got a ticket for you, say, hey, Don, do you have a ticket for me? But don't all do it at once. He's been doing really good, so if you've been chatting a bunch, I'm sure he's got you. So what we have tonight for our giveaway prizes are right here under the screen. This one here is going to be one of the giveaway prizes. It's a 1964 Swiss 2 francs. Nice silver coin, brilliant, uncirculated. This one does have just a little bit of haze on the obverse, so it probably wouldn't grade super high, but I'm sure that could be dipped right off if someone really wanted to. But it's super lustrous, real flashy, nice Swiss silver coin. Another giveaway prize is one of our 2000. Huh? Is that you?
Sorry about that.
All right, this is our 2016 copper Glendale Coin Club medal. This has the California bear design from the 1925 commemorative, and on the reverse, it's the California state seal from the 1894 so-called dollar. So that'll be one of the prizes. We also have one of the copper 2018 Zombux overstrikes, so you can see there, it's kind of got an image of the barber head from the Zombux copper round, and on the other side is our California bear design. We'll also give away one of our 2019 Coin Club medals. This time it has the 1869 Pacific Railway Completion medal design, and these are all done by Daniel Carr of the Moonlight Mint. Does a really good job for us, and if you're not familiar with Dan Carr, you should be, because I've done videos on that. But yeah, all his stuff goes for good premiums in the aftermarket, so these are a little nicer than the average Coin Club medals for sure, and we're glad to have him do these for us. And then the top free giveaway tonight will be a silver version of our 2019 round. So there you go. So if you want a chance to win one of these, all you got to do is say something in the chat, and Don has been writing those down. Also, towards the end, we will be doing a live auction, and we'll do the giveaways. We'll do our program, and then show and tell, and then we'll do the giveaways, and then we'll go into the live auction. So you don't have to wait all the way till the end to see if you've won one of the giveaways. You don't have to be here to win the giveaway anyway. You can watch back later, and so as long as you get in, you'll have a chance. And then the auction, in the description to this stream, you'll see the list of the things we'll be selling, and all the proceeds of that will go to the club. So everything starts at $1, and everything goes to the club. So we'll get more into that later. Some other quick announcements. Most of you guys know most of the coin shows and coin club meetings in California have been canceled. I don't know of anything that's being held this month. If you guys know of anything, you can put it in the chat, of course, and maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't, since I'm not really following the chat as good as I should be, at least. I know most of the clubs and shows have been canceled well into the summer, like even into July and August. Again, the CSNA Educational Symposium has been postponed. That was supposed to be on May 2nd. I don't think they've picked a new date for that yet. Long Beach just got canceled. That was supposed to be June 4th through the 6th. Even though it took them a little while to announce that publicly, they did cancel it. And so far, from what I hear, they're looking forward to having the show in September, which will be the 17th through the 19th. But even some dealers and collectors I've talked with have doubts that we might not even be able to have Long Beach in September, or at least not the same way we were used to having it. So I don't know any inside information on that. So just don't be surprised if it's not the same Long Beach show that we're used to, I guess. But hopefully we can have some sort of a show by September. June 28th, Van Nuys show, Richard Mirchanian's show, that has been canceled. So has the July 5th North County Monthly show in Anaheim. I'm not sure if they've canceled their August show yet. I think that's maybe to be determined, but the July 5th one is canceled. July 11th through 12th, Coinorama in San Diego is also canceled. I know the ANA Summer Seminar got canceled. So far, from what the website tells us, the World's Fair of Money is still going on, and we'll have Rod Gillis up here for some announcements in just a minute, and maybe he'll have some confirmation on that. Hey, Nubs, thanks for joining there. Appreciate that, and everybody else for coming in. Kevin Wolf is just mentioning something I was going to get to, is Las Vegas is going to have a coin show July 2nd through the 5th. It's not going to be their full Las Vegas show that they usually do. It's going to be at the Palace Station. And the last I've heard on that is it's going to be limited to 25 dealers, and they're only going to be letting in maybe about 25 people at a time. So it's going to be limited number of dealers and limited number of people in at a time. But if you're really itching for a coin show, or if you're really itching for a trip to Vegas, then there's an option there. I don't know how that's going to work. I hope it's successful, and there you go. Paul is mentioning that the ANA is offering summer seminar classes, and since we're talking about ANA, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Rod Gillis right now, who is also our speaker for tonight, but he does have some announcements for us about ANA, perhaps. Rod?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone for allowing me to come and visit at your coin meeting tonight. It's a real honor and a pleasure for me to be here. Insofar as some of the questions that you brought up, I really don't know the any changes concerning the World's Fair of Money. Right now, the official status is that the World's Fair of Money will be going on in Pittsburgh, and I really don't know anything more than that to give you. I also wanted to mention that tonight's PowerPoint presentation is called Strategies, easy for me to say, Strategies to Dispose of Your Collection. And so basically what we're going to be talking about is how, the coin collecting that affects older people like myself. And with that in mind, I wanted to spend just a minute talking with you about some of the various programs doing a 180 that we have for YNs, or Young Numismatists. One of the things that we have that is our sort of flagship program is we have a program called Coins for A's. So any youngster who earns 3 or more A's in a marking period can send a copy of their report card to us, and we will send to them a really neat world coin, and we'll also, for the first time that they submit a report card to us, we'll send to them an application for a free 1-year membership to the ANA. And then every time they want to send another report card that they qualify for, I'll send them a different world coin. We challenge them to learn as much about the history and geography of the country that minted their coin. It's an extremely positive and popular program. We have approximately 2,200 youngsters in the program nationwide. And it can be anywhere from, when they start school in kindergarten all the way up through high school when they graduate as a senior. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, of course, you do not have to be a member to participate in Coins for A's, but since we do offer the membership, that opens up a whole lot of other YN programs once a youngster becomes a member that they can participate in. And I just wanted to make sure that you know that we are not leaving homeschoolers out. As a matter of fact, about 1/4 of the youngsters who are in our program are homeschoolers. And what we basically do is tell the parents that there are a lot of templates on the website, on the internet, and all they need to do is to use one of those templates and sign off as a parent, and we accept that. So it's a great program, and we're very proud of it. And so if you know of any youngsters who you'd like to get involved in the hobby, or you're looking for youngsters who are looking for something as a reward for all of their hard work in school, that's something that you might want to consider. Does anybody, or is there any concerns or questions about that before I move on?
We did have a couple in the chat, like Andrew was saying, hey, I'm a youngster, so I put a link into the ANA's website for them to go for some more information. Is there anything else specifically that you want, or any place they should be looking directly, or should they go through their coin clubs, or come right to the ANA if they want to?
Well, they can come right onto our ANA website, and on our ANA website, they will find a place where it says Young Numismatists. And there we list all of our programs and everything involved, and of course, Coins for A's is one of those. There's also a portion of our website called Money Musements, where we have things like hangman, using numismatic terms, and there's an exercise in grading silver dollars, and there's all kinds of stuff. So the point is that we've certainly realized that YNs are the future of our hobby. We've had a lot of clubs contacting us and say, hey, do you got any ideas of things that we can do to get youngsters interested? And so we've worked very hard to try to do that. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on those types of things.
Okay, well, great. All right, Rod, we're going to go ahead and do a couple more announcements, so I'll bring you back when it's time for your presentation in a little bit.
Sounds great.
Thank you very much. All right, just a couple of quick announcements. And Phil just mentioned that he's having trouble not getting sound tonight. Everyone else says they are. So if you're having any troubles with the streams or any time of YouTube, I would recommend you try to refresh a couple times. So that usually fixes that. Hope it does. But other than that, I just want to make a couple of quick announcements. I did receive an email from our club member, Mary Yahalom, who moved up north a little while back and hasn't been to our meetings in a while. She just wanted to say hello to everyone, said she's really glad that we're keeping the club going and the NASC going as well. And she also mentioned that she does have some of the Glendale Coin Club medals, including some of the color-toned and antiqued versions that we did for 2016. And she just wanted to know what she should do with them, because I guess she just wants to see if anybody wants those, or not, to give away, of course, but if anyone's interested in purchasing some of our, better metals. And some of those, we only made 10 or 12, or they're real low mintage. So if anybody's interested in those, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll go ahead and put my email address in chat, and then I'll be able to put you in touch with Mary. And if not, I'll probably end up just buying them from Mary if she really doesn't want them and wants to get rid of them. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know. She says hello to everybody. We've mentioned this at the last couple of meetings, but the 2021 Red Books are in. They're $10 each for club members, so I do have a box of them waiting for everybody. A couple people reached out saying they want them now, and don't want to wait until we meet up. So as long as you want that and you want to cover the shipping cost, which the shipping cost isn't crazy, we can send it media mail. Just send me an email and let me know about that. The Mega Red Books, I have not received those yet, so when those come in, I'll let you guys know. Paisley and Daddy Show, who is Sheldon from Hawaii, says Boomba Shoots Crew, okay. Sends a $10. Very cool. And Paula Bloom, loving the club meetings, sends $10. Thanks for those donations to the club. Really appreciate that, you guys. Another quick announcement. The Basketball Hall of Fame coins for the Mint are out. Sales reports that I've seen so far didn't seem to be particularly strong, but if you're interested in the Basketball Hall of Fame coins, they are out. Check them out. I ordered a couple of the $50. I haven't decided if I'm going to get any of the others. And the premiums seem a little higher than other recent commemoratives, but I didn't go back and verify what we've been paying for all of those. But metals prices are a little higher than they were last month. And the premiums are quite a bit higher, too, if you've been trying to buy physical bullion. So pretty much the same story as last month, but it seems like even higher prices and even higher premiums. So Don would be able to tell you more about that since he works at the coin shop in Newhall there. And just lots of buyers out there at spot prices. If you could buy silver at the spot prices, there'd be hundreds and hundreds of buyers lining up, but very few sellers, it seems like. So, I don't know if Don, is that your experience with that?
Yeah, they can't keep it in the store, and it's nowhere near spot. It's at least $350 above spot is the cheap stuff. So. Yeah,
and especially I have people asking for silver eagles every now and then, and forever you'd be able to get silver eagles for roughly $2.50 to $3.50 over spot in that ballpark. Now it seems like they're $6 or $7 over.
$7.50 is the average.
Okay, it's just hard to buy silver eagles at that premium, at least for me. But I guess if you really want them, that's what you have to do.
Right.
At least for now. But anyway, I've seen a lot more people coming in the chat. Thanks everybody for coming. Hey there, Rich. Good to see you. Let's see. One more quick announcement. We already talked about joining the ANA, and I put in the chat there a couple times that I think everybody should be a member of the ANA. That's our National Coin Club, and if you like coins at all, you should be supporting that. Plus, they have a really great magazine you should do. And speaking of magazines, we got the Numismatic Association of Southern California that I'm the current president, at least for a couple more months. Another excellent award-winning publication, comes out 4 times a year. If you want a copy of this, let me know, and we'll be able to hook you up, and you can join this. And you'll be supporting all the local coin clubs throughout California. I did want to show you one thing in here. First of all, I'll just go to the table of contents. We have several club members that have articles in this most recent. This is a summer 2020 issue. John Duff, who we'll be hearing during Show and Tell, has an article. Phil Iverson, Greg Burns, even Michael Kittle has an article in this one. So let's take a look. What did Michael Kittle get in print this month? Let's see. Look at that. Taking the Coin Club meeting online. I wrote an article for the California Numismatist about what we're doing right now. How about that? And look at this picture we put in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a picture of YouTube that I'm now showing on YouTube. And in that picture, I'm showing the California Numismatist. So how do you like that? So that's pretty fun. So anyway, just getting the word out there that we're still trying to get our meetings and not letting everything that's going on in the world stop us there. So other than that, I did also want to thank Walt Ostromecki, who I did see in the chat. Just want to thank Walt for he's former ANA president, and you guys all know Walt from the club. Just wanted to thank him for helping us set up this program, and definitely appreciate that. And I guess I'll stop our announcements with our treasurer's report. We have $3,088.96 in checking, $1068.31 in our show account, $46.56.50 in inventory, and $685 in cash for a total of $94.98.77. So very good. Don, do you have any other announcements?
I do not. You pretty much covered it.
All right, I think so. And I didn't see anybody tagging me in the chat there and with any other announcements that I noticed. Bob Thompson's trying to tell Phil to turn the volume up on his computer, which I would guess Phil tried to do that. But all right, with that, I think it's time to bring up our guest speaker again. You guys already saw him. It is Rod Gillis, who is the ANA's education director, and we're very lucky to have him present to our club. Like as he mentioned, we're going to be having a program titled Strategies to Dispose of Your Collection. I think we've talked about this at our club meetings briefly, probably not for the last few years, but it's really something that all collectors should think about at some point as their estate planning and what's going to happen to our coin collections, and something that we should all be thinking of from time to time. So Rod, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll bring up your screen, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for inviting me. So the story behind this PowerPoint presentation occurred several years ago. I was teaching a class on grading at the Georgia Numismatic Association at their show in Dalton. And my co-instructor was a gentleman who is known far and wide, and he is also in our ANA Hall of Fame. His name is Bill Fiva. And Bill and I had just finished teaching the class, and we were eating dinner. And Bill said to me that he had always wanted some sort of information for our membership concerning how to dispose of their collection once they had reached the age where they really were worried about collecting or how to disseminate their collection. And that really rang a bell with me, because being the education director, I get so many phone calls from people, not from that end, the collector, but from the end of someone who calls and says, my grandfather has inherited a collection, and none of us know anything about coins, and can you help us, please? I mean, we get that phone call quite frequently. So we thought we'd attack that problem through this end and sort of reminding collectors that there probably will come a time where you'll want to give some very serious thought as to what to do with your collection. And so hence that's where we came up with this PowerPoint presentation. It's interesting because the one story that I have is that several years ago, I had a woman who contacted me and said, she said, Rod, I don't have any trust in dollars anymore. And so what I want to do is I want to liquidate my entire retirement, and I want to buy one coin. Which one coin should I buy? And I went home and told my wife this story, and she said, golly, I just can't believe that. And I said, yeah, I know. Can you believe that one woman wants to buy just one coin? She says, no, I can't believe that anybody would want to talk to you for financial advice. And the reason that I mention that story is because we're not financial advisors here, nor are we tax accountants. And like I said, the whole goal behind this PowerPoint presentation is to really get you to begin thinking about what you want to do and how you want to handle your collection, whether you want to sell it before your demise, or whether you want to provide instructions for someone to handle it at your demise. So that's where we are. So questions that the education staff encounters. And you can fill this in, my grandfather, uncle, passed away, and he left the family a coin collection. How can I sell it? Lawyers call us all the time. I have a client who collected rolls of presidential dollars. Where do I get them graded? And can you give me the names of dealers who want to buy them? I actually had that question, and I said, well, quite honestly, it probably wouldn't be a good strategy to get them graded because you're probably paying more to get them graded than their actual value. And you're going to have a tough time selling them because they're really, especially if they're slabbed, because the dealers wouldn't be interested in purchasing them. And he got quite irate with me, but I was giving him the honest answer. My grandfather brought back money while he was in Europe during World War II. Can I turn the note and coins in for United States money? This one's particularly heartbreaking when people have hyperinflation German notes during the 1920s, for hundreds of thousands of marks. And they really think that they have something there. And they do have something because it is an interesting piece of numismatic collectability, but, it's not something that they're going to be able to retire from. My grandmother left me a $500 note. Can I spend it? We get that question all the time. And of course, we do the right thing and we tell them, yes, you could spend it, but it's really not a good idea to do that because it's worth much more as a collectible than it is for its face value. We also get the other end. Banks call us all the time. A customer came in with a $500 note. Can we accept it? And again, the answer is yes, you can, but please do the right thing and tell them that they should take it to a coin dealer so that they can get more than face value for the note, and then they can take that money, bring it back to the bank, and open up a savings account with it. Here's an example of the hyperinflation notes that I had mentioned earlier. You can see that this gentleman is actually using them as wallpaper. They became so worthless that it was easier to use the notes as wallpaper than it was to actually spend them. Here's an example. Here's a 100,000 mark. Thinking of the inevitable. I saw this cartoon and I thought it was particularly funny, and so I included it in this PowerPoint presentation. That'll be my luck. So there's a philosophic question, and the question is, do we really own our collection? A reporter once asked the accountant of John D. Rockefeller how much money Rockefeller left after he died. The accountant replied, he left all of it. Rockefeller carried a bag of dimes and would give one to each child he met and told them to give cheerfully and they would receive tenfold. It's estimated that he gave away $35,000 worth of dimes. He also, by the way, founded the University of Chicago. So, to answer the question, do we really own our collection? The answer is, as coin collectors, we don't really own coins, but are their caretakers for a relatively short time. Our job is to enjoy them and leave them in the best possible condition for the next generation to enjoy. So when you're considering disposing of your collection, you really have two options. You can dispose of your collection while you are still alive, or of course you can dispose of your collection after you have passed the great misty veil of life and find yourself in the great coin shop in the sky. When disposing of your collection, you can do it through several ways. You can sell your coins, you can give your collection to another collector, most likely a relative, or you can donate your collection. Now, it's important to understand that you don't have to do just one of those three things. You can certainly use a mixture of those three ideas to dispose of your collection. And let me give you an example. So one of the things that I enjoy collecting is stock certificates. And this is a stock certificate that is very important to me. You'll notice that it says Buick Oil Company. Well, the story behind this stock certificate is that it was a company was founded by David Dunbar Buick, who, yes, was the man who invented the Buick automobile. And I really like this stock certificate. It's probably the flagship of my stock certificate collection. Here you see on the left is a picture of David Dunbar Buick, and on the right is a Buick automobile. That happens to be mine. I'm very fortunate to own that. And so I often carry that stock certificate when I go to coin shows with me so that I can show people the stock certificate and his signature that actually appears on it. Sad thing about David Dunbar Buick, he was an extremely brilliant man. He's the one who was able to figure out how to finish bathroom fixtures like bathtubs, and so that they wouldn't rust. And he was a plumber when he began, and then he moved over into automobiles. But he really didn't do well handling money, and sort of by the end of his life, he was working part-time at a school, sort of as a receptionist, and he was so broke that he couldn't afford a telephone. That's the story behind David Dunbar Buick. The reason I bring this up is because I have that in my collection, and I wonder what I'm going to do with it. Well, here's another coin that I'm very familiar with. This is the World War I Centennial coin, and this was put out in 2018. Some of you may are familiar with it, and I was very fortunate to be involved with getting this coin minted. As a matter of fact, back in 2010, it was my idea to come up with a commemorative coin for our veterans of the First World War. It took about 5 years of my life to get Congress to eventually pass the legislation for the president to sign so that this coin would come into being. It's kind of interesting because I was very honored in November of 2017 to be at the ceremony at the Philadelphia Mint where the first of these coins were minted. And when I had the opportunity to mint mine, the gentleman from the mint took it away. And I said, will I be able to take it with me? He says, no. He says, you can't take it with you right now. He said, because we can't give them back until they're actually up for sale and become legal tender. And he says, that's going to happen in January. So we'll give you a call and let you know in January when you can get the coin. And I said, okay. So sure enough, in January, I got a call from the mint, and they said, we're ready to get the coin to you. Please send us the $54.95, and we'll send the coin to you. I was a little shocked by that. The point is that the reason I'm showing you this coin is because this coin I'm going to give to my son. It's a very important coin for me, and I want to make sure that he holds on to it. So that's not something that I want to be able to give away or to sell. It's not an object that I want to sell. The stock certificates that I showed you previously, I have really taken a lot of my stock certificates and I've donated them to the American Numismatic Association. So what I've done so far is I've donated a portion of my collection, and I have this one, this coin that you see, that I'm making sure that my son holds on to. So when you're getting started, what are some things that you'll need to do when you're thinking about getting rid of your collection? Well, the first thing you need to do is to organize your collection and keep the recipient in mind. So if you are planning to give the coin collection to someone, you're going to want to make sure that they have the information that they will need when they are ready to sell it. And you need to do it not as from one collector to another collector, but probably from a collector to someone who knows very little. So that's what I mean about keeping the information, keeping the recipient in mind. So many people contact us and they say, I'm looking for software to help me organize a collection. And really, we believe that the best way to organize your collection is through an Excel file, because Excel files never go out of date and they can be very adaptable to the information that you want to include. If you have any trouble starting an Excel file to do just that, you can go to the ANA website, and we actually have put together a basic Excel file that lists some basic information that you can download and then adjust it as you see fit. So what are the things that you probably should include? Well, not everybody just collects United States coins. So the one thing that you're going to want to include is the country of origin. You're going to want to include the denomination of the particular coin and the grade, if you know it. So suppose that you've organized your collection and you are interested in selling the coins before you pass away. And so what are your options in selling the coins? Well, one option is to sell coins to dealers. And there are advantages to doing that. It's the cleanest and quickest sale. And if the dealer is any good at all, they will be happy to explain the offer that they've given you, an explanation of the value. And that's always a good thing. There are some disadvantages to selling to dealers. Number one is they're going to offer the wholesale price. Now, that's not an underhanded or wrong thing that they're doing. They, especially brick and mortar shops, that's how they stay in business. And it's important for us to realize that. The other thing is that there's no set price or variables. I have people contacting me all the time and say, I saw that red book, and this coin that I have is worth such and such money, but the dealer wasn't willing to give it to anything close to that amount. And the first thing, of course, that I tell them is that the red book reflects retail prices, not wholesale prices, which is what the dealer is going to offer. But even so, there really aren't prices that are set in stone. For example, suppose that you have an 1877 Indian head cent, which is the key to the Indian head cent series, and you decide that you want to sell it, and you go to two dealers. Dealer A has several of them that he's looking to sell. He will buy your coin, but he offers a certain price. Dealer B not only does not have any in stock, but he has a favorite customer of his that is looking just for that coin. Which dealer is going to give you the better price? Is it going to be dealer A or B? And actually it's going to be dealer B who's going to do that. So it's important for people to understand that there is no price that's set in stone. It sounds kind of cheeky, and I explain this to people, but really the value of the coin is what someone's willing to pay for it. Another disadvantage is if you walk in with a whole lot of coins and you really don't know what it is you have, there may be an opportunity for the dealer to cherry pick a particular coin or coins that you're not aware of the value. If you're looking to find a dealer who is on the up and up, and one of the ways you can do that is by going to our website. If you look at the top of the page, you'll see it says Find a Dealer. And if you go into our website and you click on Find a Dealer, all the dealers listed are dealers in good standing of the American Numismatic Association. Does that mean that they're the most pleasant person to be around? Maybe, maybe not. But what it does say is that they abide by a code of ethics that are outlined by the ANA, and that they should be on the up and up. So if you know someone who is looking to sell some coins and they wanted to go to a dealer, that's probably a good way to get them started, is to access our Find a Dealer part of the website. This is what it looks like when you click on it, and it's just a matter of putting in specialty. Maybe it's paper money, and you could put that in, and then all the dealers who specialize in paper money show up. Or you can make a search by city, state, or country. And so it's this dealer directory is fairly easy to manipulate, and I would suggest that people use it. Selling your coins privately to another interested party. What are the advantages to that? Well, sometimes if you're selling privately, you can often get a better price than you would be going to a dealer, because you may be able to get a price that's better than wholesale. There are several disadvantages. There's more work involved in finding a buyer. There are certainly security issues. You don't want to broadcast that you have a coin collection that you'd like to sell, and here's my address. And it requires advanced knowledge of the collection. With so many people tell me that they've inherited a collection and they want to sell it on eBay, and I caution them about doing that because I say, here's the thing: if you don't know a lot about the particular coin and people ask you questions about the coin, what are you going to say? Number two is that sometimes when people take images of the coins and they place it on eBay, the images may not be the most flattering, or they may be hiding something. And the person who's taking the picture, giving them the benefit of the doubt, might not know what it is that they're hiding, but then the buyer, once they get it, sees a scratch that they didn't see in the photograph, and they become quite irate. So generally, we kind of steer people away from using eBay unless they know what it is that they're doing, and they've been involved in numismatics for some time. And then, of course, there's the auction company. The advantages to selling your collection through an auction company is that generally they realize the best prices. And the reason they do that is because they hit their target audience of other collectors. However, there are some disadvantages. There's a time element. So if you need to liquidate your collection fairly quickly, probably going through an auction company may not be the best way because, number one, you have to wait till the auction actually takes place. And number two, then there's the matter of the auction company getting the payment for the coin and then, taking their cut and then finally getting the money to you. Another disadvantage is generally auction companies are only interested in very rare and or valuable coins or coins that have a lot of provenance behind them. Again, they're going to offer payment after they've collected after the settlement. So it's not very timely if that's the way that you wish to go. Tax implications for selling your collection. Do I have to pay income tax on coins that I sell from my collection? And the answer is absolutely. How do I determine the profit that I made? I don't have a record of my purchase price. And that comes up quite often, and that's a very good question. The best solution is to figure out the approximate time you purchased the coins. Find the value of the coins at that time and deduct that number from the selling price. That is your profit. Again, let me say that one more time. The best solution is to figure out the approximate time you purchased the coins, find the value of the coins at that time, and deduct that number from the selling price, and that is your profit. And of course, old guidebooks of the United States coins are invaluable for this project. We have an entire collection of the red books in our library. Most of them are signed by they're all signed by Ken Brissett, I believe. Can I deduct a loss of value when I sell my coins? Well, the answer is it depends. If you are an investor and have realized a profit for several years, the answer is yes. In other words, if that's basically how you make your living. If you are a collector who bought the coins for enjoyment purposes, the answer is no. So suppose I've sold my collection. What do I do with the money once I have sold it? One of the great suggestions that we give is involving yourself in a CRT or charitable remainder trust. You can see the diagram on the right-hand side. Basically, what happens is you do two things. You buy a life insurance trust, and you can put family members as the beneficiary of your life insurance trust. You also get a charitable remainder trust, where the money actually goes to charity. What happens is the money that actually goes to charity, you can deduct, is tax deductible. And you can actually get money payment from the life insurance trust that you can live off of. And then when you pass away, the life insurance policy or trust will then go to your, in this case, children. So if you want to talk with your financial advisors about CRTs, that's probably a good way, and that is a way that many collectors go. Let's talk about liquidating coins upon your demise. Most important thing is please make sure that you leave a will. And of course, the most important part about that is make sure that you stipulate in your will the location of your collection. Not everyone leaves their collection at home. Some leave a portion of their collection in safety deposit box at banks. And how will your relatives know that that's where the coin collection resides if you don't let them know that? Okay. Also, make sure that they have access to a location of your inventory. Again, that Excel file that we were talking about. Also include instructions as to who and how the collection should be sold and where the proceeds go. And most importantly, with the will, make sure that you keep your will up to date. How do I establish the taxes for the value of coins I've inherited? This is a great question. And it sounds complicated, but it really isn't. When you inherit coins, your basis, what your taxable gains are based on when you sell the coins, is set at the fair market value of the coins when the decedent died. For example, if your grandfather started collecting coins when he was young and paid only $300 for his collection, but the coins are now worth $5,000, your basis is set at $5,000. Therefore, if you turn around and sell them for $5,000, you won't pay any taxes because even though the coins are worth $4,000 more than what your grandfather paid, the step up in basis leaves you with no taxable gains because your basis equals the sales price. Okay? So what we're basically saying here is that when someone passes away and you inherit the collection, you don't need to necessarily research how much the coins are, what the value of the coins are at that very moment. You just need to find out what the in this case the grandfather paid for his collection at that point. How do you do that? Well, using red books is a great way to do that, and the Internal Revenue Service is willing to use the red book as a definitive measure. So if you figure that your grandfather bought most of his coins in 1937, and you find out how much the coins. Of course, the red book didn't start until later than that. So let's say 1950. So let's suppose that your grandfather bought most of his coins in 1950. It would just be a matter of looking in 1950 what the price for the coins that he purchased at that time would be, and you're set to go. Federal estate schedule. The federal government only imposes an estate tax, not an inheritance tax. And right now, the estate tax is $11.4 million for a single person. And if you're married, it's $22.8 million. So if you're a ham and eggs collector like me who collects Franklin half dollars, you're probably not going to have to worry about this. Okay? What if the family has inherited a collection? Is there anyone within the family who is interested in the collection? If the answer is yes, then you might want to consider either giving them or selling the collection to them. If the family inherits the collection, are there inheritance taxes locally by state? And the answer is it depends. If you take a look at the diagram that I've showed you, most states do not have an inheritance tax. Some states do have an inheritance tax, and some lucky devils who live in states, let's say like Maryland or New Jersey, not only do they have inheritance taxes, but they have estate taxes. Now, in looking at this, considering where your group is, you'll notice that California is one of the states that do not have the inheritance or estate taxes, and I don't know how that gets by those folks. I'm looking for that to happen in California any day now. But this chart that you see, I copied only for a few months ago, maybe 8 or 10 months ago. And at that point, California did not have an estate or inheritance tax. I can't see that that's going to be the case much longer, but I don't know. Donating all or part of your collection. Donating to a charitable organization can allow for a tax deduction based on the value of your donation. The organization is responsible for providing you with a receipt for your donation, but cannot appraise the value. An appraisal is the responsibility of the donator. So, when someone donates a coin or an entire collection to the ANA, we send them a detailed receipt. But what we can't do is we can't appraise their collection and send back that appraisal. And the reason that we can't do that is we are a nonprofit organization, a 401(c), and it is against the law for us to do that. So we don't. And that's the reason we tell that to people up front. We'll give you a detailed receipt, and then you can use that any way you wish, but it's between you and the IRS. Really, the ANA has to steer clear of that. Donating to a charitable organization can allow for a tax deduction based on the value of your donation. The organization is responsible for providing you with a receipt for your donation, but they cannot appraise the value. An appraisal is the responsibility of the donator. And there you can see on the left, this was in 2019. You can see that you have a standard deduction of $12,200 if you're single, and so on, all the way up to $24,400 for a qualifying widow or widower. I don't know about you, but I used to keep a good record of all my deductions, and last year I was nowhere close to being at $12,200. So I can see where the talk by the IRS is it's a much simpler way to do your taxes. Probably true. Let's talk about donating to the American Numismatic Association. What can we accept? Well, we're happy to accept world coins. We can use those world coins for the Coins for A's program. We accept world paper money. We often use world paper money to distribute when scouts are doing their merit badge workshop. We make that as part of a prize bag for them. We can accept United States coins regardless of value, and United States paper money. It's important to know that a lot of people, they call us up and they're almost ashamed of what they have. I have a few cents, and you guys probably wouldn't want that, would you? And the answer is yes. I can tell you as the education director that I can find a good home for almost any coin or piece of paper money. I really can, to a youngster who will greatly appreciate it. So it's very rare when I get something that is so either beat up or so odd that I can't use it in some form or fashion. Donations can go to the A&A Museum or Education Department. We receive a donation. The first thing we do is we check to see if the museum has a particular holding. And you never know. Sometimes there's a hole in the museum's collection, and we have something that most people would consider quite common. But again, for whatever reason, the museum may not have it, and we donate it to the museum so that at some point they can show it. Again, Coins for A's. We also have something called the Dollar Program, and the Dollar Program involves several steps that youngsters who are members of the ANA and are 12 and under can do. They involve completing a coin rubbing of a coin. It involves picking a year a dollar was minted and then telling us 5 events that happened during the year that coin was minted in the world and 5 events that happened in the United States. And if they do that, they get an Eisenhower dollar from us. They then draw their own depiction of a commemorative coin and explain their idea for the subject behind their commemorative coin. And for that, we actually give them an actual silver dollar, a peace dollar, or a Morgan dollar. And then finally, to complete their final project, they would receive from us a Canadian mint set. And for that one, they have to go onto our website and they do a choose your own adventure idea where they have to actually follow how a coin is minted through the United States Mint. We also have early American and copper coin projects that youngsters can get involved in. We have Scout Merit Badge and Fun with Money workshops that we can use donations for. And then every year in September, we have a large live, electronically done auction for our youngsters. During the course of a year, our youngsters, by completing certain projects, can earn YN dollars. And in September is their time of year where they can use their YN dollars to buy some really neat coins. And so that's what we can use coins for that. So there are lots of ways in which you can donate anything that you have to the ANA and it would be of great help to us. Here's the coins for A's that I spoke about earlier. Any youngster who earns 3 or more A's can send a report card to us, and we will send them a world coin. We'll send them a different world coin every time they submit another report card. And we've actually had youngsters who started out in elementary school, and now they've graduated from high school. It's really neat. And they talk about how this is something that they've enjoyed through the whole time, and that they've learned a lot from the coins that they've received. This is what the dollar project looks like. Again, I was telling you that there's 4 parts to the dollar project, where kids can, the first coin that they earn is a presidential dollar or a Sacagawea dollar. Then they earn a Eisenhower dollar, a silver dollar, and they finally wind up with a Canadian mint set. And then here's a what our YN auction looks like. We always find a way to find one gold coin, and we always have 100 lots, and the gold coin is always lot 51. And kids oftentimes don't bid on anything until they get to the gold coin, because they're so anxious to see if they can win the gold coin with their YN dollars. We have a book called Managing and Settling a Numismatic Estate, How to Preserve or Dispose of Your Collection. And it basically goes into quite a bit more detail than what I was able to share with you this evening. And you can purchase that book through the ANA, or it also is available on Amazon. You can get that as well. So I would encourage you, if this is something that is of interest to you and has really got you thinking, this is something that you might want to consider. What questions does anyone have that I can answer?
Hi there, Rod. I did see, and thanks for the presentation. I think it was pretty good, and I think most people are having some good comments during that. One question that just came up, though, was, I know at one point you had mentioned that kids don't necessarily have to be members of the ANA to participate in certain things, but maybe for other. Can you clarify what that means?
Sure. So the one program that youngsters do not have to be members of the ANA to participate in is Coins for A's. Although, once they send in their report card, we do send them an application for a free 1-year membership, and we hope that they'll take us up on that. However, if they decide that they don't want to do that for whatever reason, we still honor their report cards, and we fulfill our obligation in getting coins to them. Once a youngster has signed up through Coins for A's or just bought a membership for themselves, then it opens it up to our, if they're 12 or under, it opens up to the dollar program, or it opens it up to our early American copper program or our ancient coin program. And all these programs involve completing certain projects and then receiving the coins. The one thing, I'm an old public school teacher, and the one thing that our association sticks to, and I'm very proud of this, is that we do not give coins away. Our youngsters earn their coins. And we believe that they prize their coins much more if they earn them, rather than we just give them away. And so we've come up with several different programs. Most of them do involve membership. Coins for A's does not. That are ways for kids to get some really, really neat coins.
Very good. Another member here had a question for you, or just wanted more of a comment. His name is Walt Ostermecki.
Oh, good.
And he just wanted to remind Rod that the ANA has a 40-page booklet on this topic. And then if you wanted to mention what that is on on estate planning, or what to do with your.
Right, and that was the last. If you saw, that was the. Let me see if I can get back there.
Okay, I just want to.
Yeah, that was the last picture or image that I showed you on the book. That we do have a book on estate planning that is available, and you can get it through the ANA or you can get it through Amazon, and it's well worth it. I want to say it's either $6.95 or $9.95. I should know that. But anyway, it's a moderately priced book, and it's well worth that. So I'm glad that Walt brought that up. And really, considering Walt, I think you have a great club, but I'm not sure I'd want to be a member of one that Walt is part of. I'm just not sure.
Well, I'm not going to make any more comments on it.
I'm only joking.
I don't want to get in trouble by anybody.
No, I'm only joking. Walt,
No, we're happy to have Walt.
Walt
He
is
gives us a lot of help.
Walt is a very dear friend of mine. We've been
No,
friends
he helps us out a lot.
for many years, and he's a good man.
We're really lucky to have someone like Walt that has connections with the A&A like he does, and just like the long history. So it really helps us out too.
Well, this is part of what I do, and it means a lot for me to be able to come and answer questions and hopefully provide something for people to at least consider and think about when they're getting ready to sell either a portion of their collection or dispose of it in some way. Hopefully, in some small way, this will give them something to chew on a little bit.
We had another question come in that maybe I think you might have already mentioned a little bit earlier, but they ask, has the ANA considered virtual courses to be put up in place of summer seminar?
Great question. The answer is yes. It's called eLearning Academy. And so we are putting up several courses. I'll be teaching, and they're mostly 2-hour courses, in which case we will sort of give a more in-depth presentation like the one I've offered tonight, and also have time for several questions for people to ask. I'll be teaching a class called Grading 101, and the dates and all are found on our website. And you do not have to be a member to tune in. Anyone can tune in at all. And so we are working with this. And then the idea is that so after we have a flurry of classes that are going to be offered during the time that summer seminar would normally be held, then we plan on offering a couple of classes on a monthly basis for the foreseeable future. And they may not be 2-hour classes. They may be more like money talks. So, for example, I'll be giving this talk as a money talk in the future on numismatic estate planning. So the answer is yes. We are. It's called the eLearning Academy, and several classes are going to be available during the time that we would normally hold summer seminar, and then there'll be even more classes that are offered in the months ahead.
Very good. Very good. There was one other comment there. It was another collector was just pointing out the importance, and you pointed it out in your presentation, I believe, too. I don't know if there's anything else to say on it. Just the importance of somewhat organizing your collection to maximize the sales value instead of just, showing up with everything and dumping a box on the table. And because you mentioned you don't want a dealer to just cherry pick the best stuff out. Like, you got to have some sort of a handle on it.
Well, when I talk to people over the phone or when they contact me through email, we do give them a couple pieces of advice. One piece of advice is that we tell them you should do some basic homework, and where you may not know the exact price or the exact value of a particular coin, try your best to at least know the neighborhood that you're in with particular coins. We tell people to divide their coins up by denomination and then divide their coins up by type. We tell them that the Red Book is a great book to be able to help them organize your collection. And insofar as what you were saying concerning dealers, we tell them to please make sure that you contact the dealer, tell them the approximate size of your collection, tell them what you plan on doing with the collection, and set up an appointment with the dealer. No dealer wants somebody to come in with 3,000 coins and wants them to look at their coins right now and then offer them a price. I mean, that's just unreasonable, and it's unfair to the dealer. We also tell the people that it's very important that you be upfront with the dealer and tell them what you want to do. Because if you're looking for an appraisal, that is something that the dealers will most likely charge you for, because time is money. If you want the dealer to know that you're interested in perhaps selling the coins, if the dealer and the seller can come to some sort of an agreement, that's a horse of a different color. So we tell people to be completely honest with the dealer, tell them your intention, set an appointment with the dealer so that they have time to assess your collection in front of you, and that's the best way to handle that situation. We also tell people there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to a couple different dealers if they feel like they may get a better price elsewhere. There's nothing wrong in doing that. But that we give them some basic guides, because we feel it's important for dealers to be able to, there were so many people are worried about dealers dealing with them fair and square. Well, I mean, that is part of it, but also we want to be able to set it up so that the dealers are as effective and as informative as they possibly can be.
That's great. Well, thanks again, Rod, for doing that for us. And just so you know, I'm going to have to get your address, because what we do is when we have guest speakers at our Coin Club meetings, we give one of our silver Glendale Coin Club medals to them. And usually I would like to just hand that to you and shake your hand and thank you, but we can't really do that now. But you got one of these coming your way. This is our 2019 medal that we had made.
I am very honored. That is very kind of you, and I will be very proud to have that in my collection.
Absolutely. So if you just want to email me your mailing address.
Yes, I will email you and take care of it. And Michael, again, and to all the members, it's been a real pleasure for me. I hope that you were able to get something out of this time we shared together. If any of you have any questions, further questions, you can certainly reach me at gillis@money.org. That's my address, and I'll be happy to help you as best I can. And again, I just want to thank you for sharing part of your busy evening with me.
And yeah, thanks again, Rod. And I've been mentioning, I have the chat robot mentioning over and over that, you know, it's my personal opinion that every collector, everybody that even likes coins a little bit needs to be a member of the ANA. You guys are the National Coin Club, and, you know, we should all be supporting that. So there's really no excuse not to, especially for young kids to be able to get involved.
I greatly appreciate that, Michael. Thank you so much.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go into show and tell. Rod, did you have anything you wanted to do for show and tell, or did?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I showed my
Buick was pretty sweet.
My Buick stock certificate. Yeah, the story behind that is that I was hoping to find a stock certificate. Right now, I collect stock certificates related to automobiles, but unfortunately, David Buick owned his company privately. And then he eventually sold it to General Motors. So there is no Buick automobile stock certificate. But after he sold out to General Motors, he bought in California the rights to an oil company. And it was only in existence for a couple of years. And so that's sort of my the pride of my stock certificate of collection is my Buick Oil Company stock certificate.
Very, very good. Well, again, thank you for that, and getting a lot of positive comments. I know I'm not sure you can read all the chat now, but when you watch this back later, I mean, like I said, this posts up later. If you watch it on YouTube, you can replay the live chat and see all the good comments you were getting and all the. Phil Iverson's asking right now, though, are you going to donate that Buick to the ANA?
That's a good question. You know, I can.
Might be too personal. I don't know.
No. You know, my wife. My wife can't wait for me to sell my Buick Roadmaster. So I don't plan on doing that until my demise. But I probably will divest myself of all the stock certificates to the ANA, because I believe that, you know, like I said, we really don't own our collection. We take care of it for a little while, and then our job is to put it in a position where other people can enjoy it. And so I really do believe that. I'm not just saying it. So I can see a time where the ANA will get that.
Very good. And just real quick, one more time, I know that one of our dealer members just wanted to confirm any word on ANA in August. Is that still a go? I believe you confirmed that so far everything's a go. And
yes, the official stance at this moment is that the ANA is still planning on having the show in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And really, I unfortunately I don't know any more details further than that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again, Rod. We really do appreciate it.
Michael, thank you for inviting me.
All right. Thank you. Take care. All right. Again, thanks again to Walt Ostromecki for helping arrange this presentation for us. We're really lucky to have Rod speak to us from the ANA. He's the educational director again. And if you missed any parts of that presentation, remember, you'll be able to watch this back anytime once this video is done and saved. So very cool. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go. Lee was asking, do ANA members get free admission to Pittsburgh Show? I believe that's always the case, and you can even pre-register in advance. All the information on that is on their website, money.org. So we're going to get into our show and tell. And the first one we had sent in is from David Hyams. And just going to bear with me for just a second as I bring that up on my screen, because there's a lot of things I need to click and move around to get this done. And actually, if I put that on the screen, then I can't read what he has to say. So I just have to move a window or two around, and I'll get this. Just bear with me for half a second. There's that, and we'll make that full screen so we can see it. So what this is David Hyam sent in. He says, one of the things he enjoys most about selling on eBay is sending an item back to its origin. He says that recently he repatriated a small note from Portugal and numerous coins from Canada. However, his favorite has been a Civil War token that he returned home to Pontiac, Illinois. The token is from the dry goods, groceries, and crockery store of Denner and Maples and represents the only token from Pontiac, Illinois. He goes on to say, we know that the token was designed and struck in Chicago in 1863 by Shubble Childs Jr. and was used as a replacement for small change in Pontiac. This token next appeared in 2019 in the state in the greater Philadelphia area, from which it was sold to yours truly, meaning David, in Southern California. And then he says, as fate would have it, a buyer from Pontiac, Illinois purchased it from him a few months later. So very cool that when you can get a piece of history like that and return it back to the place it was, originally at. And when I read this from David, when he submitted this, it reminded me of another story. I've had a 1872 Chicago Fire courthouse bell medal that was actually made from the melted courthouse bell by the U.S. Mint. A really cool medal. I've had that for years and years. And recently, finally, somebody had to have it because it's a real nice piece, and the person ended up being from Chicago. So I also, like David mentioned, thought it was really cool to be sending it back to Chicago at that time. So I thought that was pretty cool. So thank you for sending that in, David. And the next up is going to be show and tell from Steve Sussman and John Duff. If you're listening, you're right after this one. I just need to move a few more windows around and bring up Steve's information here. There we goes that. And then I can now go to sharing the screen. Perfect. There's that. I know it's going to be real small, but you'll see a close-up view in just a second. And I can't see the chat going on now. So if Don, if anything comes up, you're still muted. If anything comes up in chat that we need to address, just let me know because I can't see the chat right now. So Steve Sussman sends this in. He says the earliest Mexican cobs included the 1 real. The first assayer was Francisco del Rincon from 1536 to 1538. At the second step of minting, maybe 1536, Gothic R lettering was used and waves were removed until the late Carlos and Joanna series. He mentions that he just won a genuine VF Gothic 1 real from the Sedgwick auction. Let me go on and read. And then he says, so anyway, he's sending some pictures of these. He says if anyone's, and he also sent in a couple articles, a couple PDF files about these early coins, Mexican 1 real. So if anybody wants these articles sent to them by email, I can do that. But I can't show them really here because one's like a 40-page or some article. But if you want those, send me an email if this is something that interests you. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I got to make this full screen. Sorry about that. So this is, I guess, a screenshot of the World Coin Price Guide showing his coin. It's a little small there, I know. This is a picture. Let's blow this up that he sent of the coin slab. Not the highest quality, I know, but that gives you an idea of what he got there. And now I got to reduce this back to the fit in the window. And I guess this is the coin here. It's the 1 real coin that he got and from the 1530s. So really, really cool. And I think that was all the photos he sent. He sent a couple other photos that were just a lot smaller, didn't show up well. So these are the ones that I thought would be best to be able to show. And want to thank Steve for sending those in to us. So very cool. And then next up is going to be John Duff. I'm going to bring him up and add him to the stream here for just a second. So John, if you want to say hello to everybody, and you're on camera now, just so you know.
Hi, Mike. Hi, everyone.
And I'm going to bring up your article in just a second here. Let me bring this up. And then I'm going to put that on screen with everybody. So there you go. Your article is up on screen.
A few years back, I was able to purchase the April 27th, 1862 New York Times from a local dealer here. And it has a most interesting article, numismatic article. It starts off talking about the costs of the war in 1860, 61, and 62. You can see it went from 64 million to 517 million. But the article was about needing to find a location to set up a sub-treasury. And a sub-treasury, leave it on that one for a bit, Mike.
Go back to the first one?
No, right there. No, the
Okay.
second one's fine.
All right.
The sub-treasury is a treasury for notes, not coins. Because remember, U.S. notes just began during this time period. And it talks about here the first 7 notes that were produced by the U.S. government. The first, a few notes bearing an interest from 10 to 12%, issued at the beginning of last year. Last year would be 1861. The second is a few notes issued under the act of the Congress approved December 23, 1857. They probably weren't produced back then. They were probably produced in 1860, 61 or earlier, or during that time period. The third is a 6% notes. The fourth is a 7 and 3% notes. The fifth is the demand notes of the first issue. The sixth is the demand notes of the second issue. And the seventh is certificates interest bearing for 5%. Now, of course, they were selling these to raise money for the war because the war was so costly. And it goes on to talk about the building it went in. The building it went in was the Wall Street building. And they had to move things around. So there were they moved Wall Street into certain parts of the building. And they moved the American banknote below, down below, and in the main part of the building, they had all the clerks that were selling and collecting and paying interest and whatnot with all these various notes. And it's in New York. It's not Washington. Obviously, eventually, everything went to Washington. But I thought this was just a very interesting kind of a little look into what was going on right as the U.S. was producing the first notes.
Very cool.
Yeah, says
yeah.
here, Wall Street, a large portion of the third story, the entire fourth story, and then it goes further down. It talks about the American Banknote Company.
So I know I didn't leave those up on the screen long enough for everybody to read everything, but remember, you can always go back and pause the screen. And if anybody wants these photos of this article emailed to them, just send me an email and I'd be happy to forward those on to you. So thanks again, Duff. Appreciate you sharing that with us all.
The same newspaper had an article about the what the Confederates were doing with currency. It's not. I don't have it here to show you, but that was also quite interesting.
Okay, well, very good. Thank you again. All right, so now the next show and tell is going to be from Albertus. Let me go ahead and bring up what he's sharing with us. And I just need to find that real quick. There we go. And I'll go back to sharing the screen. And then I got to pull up the other window to read what he wants me to read to everybody. But you guys can probably tell what this is, I hope. What he's sending here is the Basketball Hall of Fame coin. And maybe I can even make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So that there is the new commemorative out. And he's saying here, he just sent me a picture of the obverse and reverse of the new Basketball Hall of Fame gold coin. He said the coin just arrived to him today, and he'd like to use this as a show and tell. So there it is. There's the Hall of Fame. And this is another one of those curved, which I guess it's, convex on one side, concave on the other. And there it is in gold, 2020 W. And it's got the male basketball player, the female, and even a wheelchair basketball player. So it's got everybody included. Got to include everybody for sure. And then here's the other side. It's got the basketball, and then around there, United States of America. And this is a $5 gold piece, and that's the gold proof. And then he also included an image here. Try to make that a little bit bigger. This is a picture of an insert from the box that holds it. Just says 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame. And down here it just says commemorative coin program, $5 gold proof. So very cool, Albertus. I ordered some of the basketball coin. I think I ordered just a few of the $50 so far. I did not order any of the any of the gold yet. So, and it's like I mentioned that in the announcements. I just thought the premiums were a little bit strong, but I don't know. After seeing the images that Alberta sent, I might change my mind on that. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Next up for show and tell is Michael Kittle, and that is me. So I'll do my show and tell here. So, and I can do mine under the camera since I'm already set up. Let me set that there, and I'll even make myself full screen if I don't take Don out of the screen here. Let me try this. So there we go. There's that. And so what this is a set I just bought recently. It's called the Olympic Games Host Country Set, 1952 to 1972. And what this is, it's like a leather folder, but inside of that is a capital plastic holder with coins in it. It's got the Olympic coins from 1952 to 1972, which I thought was pretty cool. So it's got the silver coin from Helsinki, Finland, 1952. And this one's actually a better, tougher one to find, especially in nice condition. There were no coins issued for Melbourne or Rome, apparently. I did not know that. Here's a 1964 Innsbruck. You got the 2 coins from 1964 Tokyo. You got 3 coins from Mexico City, 1968. There were 3 different varieties. And if you have seen these 25 peso coins, the variety is really just the way the Olympic rings are spaced out in shape. Like this one, the Olympic rings are even at the top. This one, the center ring dips down, and there's some variations there. So it's got all 3 varieties. There's a Japanese 1972 for the Winter Games. This is the only one in the set that is not silver, I believe. And then you got the 5 different Munich Olympics from 1972. And I just thought it was a really cool. First of all, I like capital plastic holders, and when they have special, like more custom ones, like you just can't get at your average coin shop. And just to have the chance to get all these coins together, and they're all in great shape. Just, I don't know, couldn't really pass it up. So that is my show and tell. And next up is Don Berry for show and tell. If you have a show and tell, Don, you got to unmute yourself.
I do have a show and tell. Let's see. I guess I'm back on the screen. All right. Let's see if I can do this with my my phone on the tripod. All right. So I can't show the actual thing. Well, maybe I can. I don't know if it's going to show up very well. I bought a 10-ounce coronavirus minted silver bar. The picture is a lot better on the computer screen. This one was minted in May, and I actually have the one that was minted in April as well. So some people are definitely making money off of us all staying at home for that. And I know that there's another one coming out this month that's supposed to have a killer hornet on the front of it. So keep an eyeball out for that. And then some other one is going to be coming out next month as well. They've already got designs, I think, up on their website. So if you're interested, you can go take a peek at those. I know that the local coin shop here sells them on eBay. So if you want to take a peek there too, they are available.
Very
That's
cool. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. Next up, we had one sent in by email from one of our viewers who's been at all of our online coin club meetings. But it's someone from Indiana, actually. It's Lima Echo Numismatics sent something in, wanted to participate in the show and tell, and we said, of course. So let me share that. I got to make sure I'm hitting the right buttons here. I don't want to end the stream early. There we go. So what this is Lima sent in an email here saying, I would like to share a coin tonight's show and tell. This coin is very hard to take photos of because it's very small. This is a reverse proof 70 coin. It's 1/2 gram pure gold commemorating John F. Kennedy, and believes the coin was minted in the United States for the Republic of Burundi. And here's some photos that they sent in. So there it is. It's a 2014 coin. We've got Kennedy on there. There's a certificate of authenticity that came with it. Again, it's 1/2 gram of gold. 4/9 fine, it looks like. Dated 2014 and a mintage of only 3,000. And this one's numbered 2087, which is pretty cool. And then here's some close-ups. There's the reverse, I guess, side with the Republic of Burundi 2014. And then the other side is Kennedy 2014. So pretty interesting coin. I have not seen that one before, and really, I'm guessing some of our other people watching right now probably haven't seen that either. So thank you, Lima, for sending that in and sharing that with us. All right, right, so let me close that down and get to the next one. The next one was submitted by Phil Iverson. Let me find Phil's images and get those up on the screen. There we go. And I'll share that with y'all. And so Phil sent in an email and with a picture of this medal. And he wants to share with everybody. He says, with the recent COVID-19 sweeping around the world, the most important place to get treated is at the hospital. These places are the epicenter of fighting this terrible pandemic, and enough prayers cannot be said to all those on the front lines everywhere doing their work for the greater good of mankind. And this piece here is a large 3-inch diameter medal showing an early Mount Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles. It first started in 1918 as a 2-room hospice in Boyle Heights to care for treating people during the Spanish flu pandemic. And in 1926, it moved to a 50-bed facility in Los Angeles and later would merge and become part of Cedars-Sinai that we're familiar with today. So that is a really cool piece right there. And he can also show you the other side. Just really nice looking metal overall. And it's cool to have it. Like I said, I just mentioned when I did my show and tell, I like, more custom and really cool capital plastic holders. So that's always cool to have. And here's the other side of it right there. Mount Sinai Hospital for the Indigent Helpless of Los Angeles. So thank you very much, Phil, for sending that in. Really do appreciate that. Who made that medal? Greg Burns is asking. Phil's in the chat. I would guess. It looks kind of like a medallic art piece. I'm not sure, though. Maybe Phil would know. I'm not sure who made that one. And again, I'm only getting bits and pieces of the chat. So if I'm missing something, I'll be able to come back with that when we're done show and tell. But we got one more show and tell. It's from someone in the chat here, DTT, who is also known as Turbo Snail on the Collectors Universe forum. And they sent in an image they wanted to share. And let me bring that up for us. There we go. And I actually show it to you too. And bam, right there. And now I got to read what they sent. So you guys might remember last Coin Club medal, or last Coin Club meeting, our May meeting, DTT was one of the winners of one of our giveaways, a silver Glendale Coin Club medal. So sent an email with this photo saying, by the way, thanks for the Glendale Coin Club silver medal from the last event. It easily became one of my favorites. And I try to keep it safe until my kids are old enough to take the responsibility to handle the gem. But my daughter keeps taking it from me. So there's a picture of his daughter taking that medal. So I think it's becoming her favorite. So thank you very much for sharing that. It's always cool to see where our Coin Club medals end up and the people who end up enjoying them. So, all right, Don, have you gotten everybody's name in for the giveaways? Or do we want to give everybody another chance to say anything and to get in on this? I think.
Oh, geez, there's another one. They can all say something, but other than one, I think I've got them all. Now that I see another one.
So remember, the way we do the giveaways, Don, who is SoCal Box Breaks, by the way, and you guys should all be subscribed to SoCal Box Breaks already because I talk about that enough. But if you have not yet said anything in chat, or if you've been kind of quiet and you don't don't know for sure, you can ask now. But Don's been right. He's got most of you, I'm sure. But the way we do the giveaways, he's been writing your names on the tickets. We have these 5 items to give away tonight, and we're just going to draw 5 names. And then immediately after this, we'll go into our auction. Our auction, we have, and Don, just keep. I'll talk for a little bit while you're writing any more names.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're getting flooded now all of a sudden, but
Yeah,
or you're going to be flooded with telling people, yes, you're already in. Yes, you're already in. But
yeah.
So what we do is for the auction is all the items will start at $1 each. We have 15 items tonight. Most of them are silver coins. We even have a couple gold pieces towards the end. They're all going to start at $1 each. It's all coins and stuff that are. Richard, I think you've asked if you're in like 3 or 4 times already.
Yes, you're
sure,
in,
Richard. Then I just saw that because I saw him asking earlier. But all the items that we're auctioning off tonight are already owned by our coin club. So instead of using them as raffle prizes, which we can't really do a raffle here like we do at our coin club meetings, we're doing an auction. So all the money that comes in goes to the club. It's going to be a flat $5 shipping, whether you win 1 item or whether you win all 15 items. And you'll have to email me if you win anything, and then I'll send you the invoice by PayPal, or you could just PayPal me if you already know what your total is and all that. And it's going to be pretty easy. and you'll just follow along in the auction, bid if you see things that come up that you want, and if there's, I'll say 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3. I don't know. What do I do? I go 3, 2, 1 sold, and if you put your bid in after I put sold, then it doesn't count. If you put it in before I type sold, then it does count. If it's ever really close, or if we don't know who got the bid in first, I can share my screen and show you. We got to go by what's on my screen, because when you type in this YouTube chat, anytime you type in your own chat, it shows up on your screen before it shows up on everybody else's screen. So when you'll always think that your bid's in first, even though everyone else might not see it that way. So we got to go by what's on my screen, and I'll be able to share that to show you, because that's the only way I can't go by what's on your screen, because I can't see that. So we'll go ahead and start it. And if you want to know the list of the items and you haven't seen them yet, just look in the description to this stream right now, and I got all 15 items listed right there in the description. So we'll just go through those in order, all of them starting at $1 each. So what do you think, Don? You still getting some names, or?
I think I got the last one just now, so yeah.
Party Pickle says would like to visit the club someday. I hope we can all visit our coin club someday again, because it's been, what, 3? Is this 3 months, or is it the 4th month now? I guess we haven't.
Third month. Fourth
is it
month.
Third month
out.
online, but our fourth that we missed. Yeah, so because we missed our March meeting by like 1 or 2 days, it seems like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope we're all able to do that, Party Pickle. And Mikey, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, any of you watching, really, if you really want to participate in our show and tell, you guys have been part of our coin club meeting, even if you're not an official member of our club. Now, if you want to become a member of our club, send me an email and we can take care of that. But if you have something you want to share with everybody at the next meeting, because I have a feeling we're not going to be meeting at the library in July, we'll probably be meeting here again. Yeah, feel free to send me an email and I can share. Or if you're familiar with using StreamYards, just like John came up earlier to show the newspaper article, you can come up on StreamYard with us. But I have to know who you are and kind of know what you're going to talk about. I can't just have everyone joining StreamYard, of course. So Lima says not even part of a coin club. Lima, you are part of a coin club. You're part of the Glendale Coin Club right now. You got 67 friends in here with us, and you are part of the coin club. So there you go. So Don, you ready to pick some winners?
Yep. I moved it so that everyone can see it.
All right. The
hopefully.
first giveaway prize we're going to have tonight, again, is this one right here. You don't have to be here to win, but you do have to claim it within the next 7 days, because I know there were people that were here early that can't stay through the end. So here we go. And remember, this isn't the end. This is just our giveaway. Then we're going to go into a 15-lot auction here right after this. But this here's a 1964 Switzerland 2 francs coin. Very lustrous, mint state. It's silver. Beautiful. It does have a little bit of haze on the obverse that probably would come off if you know what you're doing. But whoever, and if you win any of the giveaways, you do need to send me an email with your mailing address. If you're under 18, you need to have your parents claim and give me their address. That's just the rules. But you don't have to pay for shipping if you win the giveaway, of course. But unless you're outside of the U.S., then I might hit you up for a few bucks. But who's the winner of that one, Don?
It's Fox Run Forge.
Fox Run Forge. Perfect. Fox Run Forge, congratulations. You got the Swiss 2 francs. The next one is our 2016 Glendale Coin Club medal. It has the California State Seal design and the bear on the other side. 2016 copper, done by Daniel Carr in the original capsule. Who's the winner of that one, Don?
That is Mr. Greg Berkovitz.
Right. Greg Berkovitz. And Greg Berkovitz is probably by the next meeting, I hope. He's going to start either doing show and tell or submitting stuff in advance, teaching us a little bit about paper money. So Greg Berkovitz used to be really involved in the Los Angeles Paper Money Club, but I know they haven't been meeting lately. So hopefully we get Greg on board and getting him to share some paper money knowledge with us all. Next up is our 2000. We didn't have a coin club medal in 2018, but what we did is we took the Zombucks coins, because those are copper rounds dated 2018. You can kind of see it was the Barber design. It was like basically a copy of the Barber coinage, but it had like scissors stuck in her eyes. But they're dated 2018. You can kind of see it there. And we had Dan Carr take those rounds and then use our bear die on the other side. So this is a 2018 Glendale Coin Club Zombucks Overstrike. So who got that one? Looks like John Smith.
Yeah.
John Smith. John Smith, congratulations. Remember, you got to send me an email to claim the prizes. If you don't have my email, just type in !email, and it pops up on the screen. And it's also in the description. And
check the description.
It's on my website. It's all over the internet. It's easy to find. But next up is a 2019 Glendale Coin Club medal out of copper. And this, again, has the 150th. We did this for the 150th anniversary of the Pacific Railway. Got that beautiful design. And who's that on the screen there you're showing? Lincoln Central Coins. I got to send it to him? What?
Yeah.
All right. Lincoln Central Coins. I'm just teasing, of course. Congratulations. Let me just write that down. Congratulations, Lincoln. You do have to send me an email. Even if you've won something from me or bought something from me 2 days ago or 2 months ago, whatever, you all have to send me emails. I do not keep any addresses on file because the one time I start keeping addresses on file, I'll end up mailing something out without asking, and you'll tell me you've moved. So I don't keep any addresses on file, not when I'm mailing coins. It's just not worth it. So you have to tell me every time. Last up is our 2019 Dan Carr Coin Club medal out of silver, 1 ounce, 999. Who wins it?
Steve Woods.
Steve Woods. Congratulations. I just see Steve Woods there in chat congratulating Lincoln.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Yep.
So Steve Woods. There you go. So those were our giveaways. I don't think we have any more giveaways unless things get crazy in the auction and then Don just tells me to do another giveaway or something. I'm sure I can dig something up. But we're going to go right into our auction. And this one over here was the one we're sending out to Rod Gillis for that awesome talk he did for us. So now we're going to get into an auction. You ready for it, Don?
I am.
I don't know. You didn't really have to do much with the auction. It was all me last time, wasn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't remember. So should I just make myself full screen? And I'll keep you on here if you need to, we can still hear you and everything and whatnot. But
yeah. If there's anything, I'll be here in case, doorbell or anything,
All right. Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully I'm not getting another $100 worth of ice cream sent to me or whatever this time. So that's all right. We're going to go full screen. And again, you can see the auction list in the description below. Again, congrats to all the winners. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out at the meeting with us so far. The rest of it's going to be a 15-lot auction. I got to move some windows around here so I can get my auction list up so I can pop it in the chat. I'll put in some quick rules for the auction just so you know. I can minimize this. I don't have to show you these pictures anymore. All right, so I'm going to post a couple things here, just some formality nonsense. So that one there tells you to remember to watch the chat. Watch the chat because the chat is going to be live. When you hear my voice and what I'm showing under the screen, by the time you see it at home, there might be a 10, 15, 20-second delay, depending on how far you are and what your internet connection is. So when you're bidding, focus on what's going on in the chat more than what you see and hear. I know that's kind of hard sometimes, but just kind of the way it is. And make sure you're watching live and on live chat as well. And winners will need to email me with their YouTube name and their name and mailing address, and then I can get you an invoice. Payments need to be settled up by PayPal. Unless we know who you are, you can send a check, and we'll figure that out too. Not bidding on the square quarter. Nope, we're covering those up. Those are just stickers. Sorry, JW. And then it's a flat $5 shipping, whether you win one item or you win 10 items. The club, if you win if this is the only thing you win, the club might make $1 off you for shipping this because I'll just put this in a bubble mailer for $3 or $3.50 or something. But if you win a bunch of stuff that I got to ship in a big box, then the club loses a couple bucks. So it all evens out, and we'll just treat anything extra as a donation. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the first one in here. This is lot number 1. This is one of those that we just gave away. This one's in a little nicer shape than the one we gave away. It's got a few dings in it, but it's a 1964 Swiss 2 francs. Brilliant uncirculated, real flashy. It's even got note from the person that originally owned this, 12/15/90, 14/70. I don't know if that's what they paid or that's what it was worth at the time. But I know if you can go into the World Coin Books and go on the, NGC's World Coin Guide right now, and it says these things are worth like $15 in MS-63, and this has got the flash and luster of at least that, if not a point or two higher. But that's just my opinion there. And we got Greg Burns at 5, but actually DT&T says let's start with a 10. So we got DT&T at $10 on this. It looks good. $10 for the Swiss 2 francs. I don't know offhand exactly how much silver's in it. I want to say these are 835 fineness. If that helps, I think it's melt value is around $5, but these go for way more than melt always. And just a great design too. We got Greg Burns was the first at 12. We had 3 bidders at 12. Greg was the first at 12. Majestic comes in at 15. Majestic Sounds of Coins at 15. I'm going to start counting it down unless other people want to jump in and say Majestic doesn't get this. All right, I'm just going to go. Well, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to type in 3, 2, 1 sold. So if you want to get a bid in and you're going to try to snipe, you better do it before I can actually type the word sold. So that's how that. I'm just going to list it as 835 silver. That's what I thought on it, Bushu. Thanks for that. There we go. That one's sold to Majestic. So I got to write down 15 Majestic Sounds of Coins. Thank you very much, Majestic. That's a cool piece. Next up, that is going to be lot 2. I'll copy the information in on that. And remember, all the proceeds go to the club. These are all items that the club bought. Some of them bought today from me. Some of them the club bought years ago from other people. I don't know. We got certain things in club inventory, and this is all stuff owned by the club. We're starting them at $1, and whatever happens, happens. So, all right, lot number 2. This is the 2019 Apollo 11 commemorative $50. It's a curved coin, which is pretty cool. It's clad, but I think the mint sold these. I don't even remember what the mint sold these for. Probably around $15 or $20. I can't remember. Maybe Don knows. I don't know, but maybe some of you guys know. But it's just a really cool design with the astronaut boot print on the one side, where it's all concave. It's got the moon phases for Project Mercury, Project Gemini, and Project Apollo. And the other side, the convex side, is the reflection in the astronaut's helmet with the LEM, Moonlander, the flag. Really cool design, real popular. And now that I finally look at chat, we had all kinds of numbers popping in that I'm not paying attention to. It looks like Dennis Berry was at 15. Galen V comes in at 16. Vern LaPointe, 17. And then Galen at 18. Guitar Gill, also 18. But Galen V was first. And now I see Dennis Berry at 19. Byron at 20. Galen V at 21. Clarify, Galen V is the first at 21. I also saw Greg Burns trying to bid that same amount. Dennis is out and Byron's out. So Galen V is leading at $21 for the Apollo 11 commemorative. And I do not have a box or the paper. This is just what, if I had that, I would be showing it. This is what we got. Greg Burns at 22. $22. Greg Burns is in the lead. I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. Galen comes in at 24 right before I can start counting it down. I think Galen really wants this one. And Greg is out, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick countdown. Remember, you got to be watching the chat and not necessarily listening to me too much. Go sold Galen V for 24. Thank you very much. Next up after this, that coin there, lot number 3. Cargill, you got in after I said sold. If you need me to show that on the screen, I can, but that one is already sold. And I'm going to go ahead and type in case you're on delay. Make sure you are watching live and on live chat. So there we go. We already got some bids on this, but I'll show you what this is. This is a year 2000. What is this one? Let's see. 2014 Australian 50 cents. It's 3.9 silver, half ounce. And it's a War in the Pacific, 1941 through 45 commemorative. And it's for the Battle of the Coral Sea. And you can see the background. It's got part of the Australian flag, part of the U.S. flag, and then one of the battleships. Just a really cool half-ounce silver piece from Australia. Not Austria. We're talking Australia. So, not Austria. I know it confuses a lot of the members of our coin club. But it looks like we got quads at 12. Big Mill hunts silver. It says pow with number 14 there. Gets that big bit in there. Big Mill's at 14. Quads comes back at 15. Thanks for coming on over, Big Mill. Good to see you. Quads.com was the first at 15. Big Mill at 16 for the Australian half-ounce silver. My Silver Squad, Big Mill beat you to it, even though you tried talking smack to Big Mill. He beat you. He's the first at 16. No, John Duff, this is not Austrian. This is Australian. I know. Sheldon's getting himself in a pickle there, it looks like. I'm not paying attention to what he was saying, but so we got Big Mill at $16. I'm going to start counting it down. Remember, pay attention to the chat, because when I say stop in the chat or sold in the chat, that's when it is. No, not quite Afghanistan. That one sold the Big Mill for 16. Big Mill is the captain of the ship. If you ever watch his, he's got a channel on YouTube. If you don't, check that out, and you don't know who Big Mill is, you can check him out. He opens up a lot of $50 rolls and has fun doing it. And he says that he's the captain of the ship. So he just showed it right there by winning one of them. Thanks, Big Mill. All right. Woo! All right. Next up is lot number 4. Jenny Hansen, you did not know we're having an auction. Darn it. Well, we're only on lot number 4. We got 15 lots tonight. And I already owe you a phone call to talk to you about some other coins, so we can settle up then if you see something you have to have. The auction list, again, not only for Jenny, but anybody else, is right in the description of this video, so you can see the lots coming up. Pretty much all of them are silver coins with a couple pieces of gold at the end. But before you guys get too crazy, I'll tell you this here is a 1780 Austria Maria Theresa Thaler. It's got a little bit of haze on the obverse, so it's not a perfect example. And it's not really made in 1780. It could have been made this year, for all we know. They keep using the year 1780 on their coins over and over and over and over. So it's got a little haze on the reverse, too. So you can kind of see it there a little bit, but it's still a big chunk of silver. And it looks like we got bids around $15. I'll just go through and make sure I didn't miss anybody else's bid there. Looked like Greg Burns was at 13, then Mikey was at 14. Rich Callie is the first at 15. So I'll just put that in chat just so we know. At 15. NCF goes right to 17, though, right by the time I type that in. Rich Kelly says, heck with that, we're going right to 21. The Maria Theresa, really popular design, and it's like basically because they've been using this design since 1780, people know all around the world this coin pretty much. I think even in one of the, I think it's the old Willy Wonka movie, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This was one of the coins I think that was shown in the movie. Not this exact one, but how do you tell what year? There's a whole website on Maria Theresa Thaler's, and you can tell by details in the shield, the way the X, it's kind of like a mint mark after the 1780, the way that's designed. There's a whole bunch of details you can check out. Not only can you tell the year range when it was done, but you can kind of tell which mint made it, because they were made all over the world too, not necessarily just in Australia. So it looks like everybody's bugging out there. Rich Kelly at 21. I'm going to count it down. I don't know how to type sold here. Sorry about that. Sold the Rich Kelly for 21. Kelly 21. 21's his lucky number. Thank you for that, Rich. And people were asking, like, how do you Richard's Mirror Chain says they're all restrikes. Well, just about, yeah. The oldest one I've actually had, I got it on eBay years ago, and it was a damaged one, but they were just selling it as a regular Maria Teresa. And I could tell just based on some of the details and studying that website that they have out. And I don't know the exact name of the website. If you're really interested, email me or just Google Maria Teresa Thalers. And I could tell that it was actually one done in Italy in the 1840s. And it didn't make it worth a ton, but it made it worth more than just what they were selling it in eBay. So I thought that was cool. But even the one that was done in the 1840s is a restrike. So, all right, quit talking, Kittle. Get back to selling. Here's the next piece of silver for sale, lot number 5. And thanks for the bids, everyone. So here's lot 5, OPM, 1 ounce silver round. And if I'm missing anything in chat and you guys are keep asking me the same thing over and over, just try to tag my name. If you don't know how to tag, you put the @ symbol and then the person's name. And you can't really do that from a phone, though. But here's the OPM silver round. It's at least 3 9's fine. Well, actually, that says 3 6's fine. Oh, wait, hold on. 3 9's fine silver right there. And then the other side got this pretty cool design. Made in the USA. OPM metals. We got David Schweiger jumped it up to $20. My silver squad has it at 21, though, right now on my screen. Guitar Gill comes back at 22. And hopefully the lag's not bugging you guys too much. I've looked and kind of followed along. I didn't see the lag being super bad. Dennis Berry tried to go back to $13, but we got Guitar Gill at 22. SoCal Box Breaks goes 22 1/4. Well, I mean, usually we go increments of $1 when we get this time high. So I'm going to round up SoCal's bid to 23. So SoCal Box Breaks is in at 23. Nah, guitar, we don't do quarter. He's just screwing around. So unless you don't want to bid 23, SoCal Box Breaks. SoCal Box Breaks is at 23. Now, if we're talking about a $5 item, then yeah, we can go in quarter increments. But Guitar Gill's at 24. And again, here's just a really nice round. We bought a couple rolls of these, the club did, several years ago, and we just got a few left because we bought tons of them. We got a good deal at the time. So NCF comes in at 25. Nice. $25 bid for the OPM metals round. $25. I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. Got to go, dude, to get ready for the show. No problem, Big Mill. And actually, I got to send you an email about that other coin we're talking about, too. And if that's something I can hook you up with, maybe we can ship them together. Take care, Big Mill. NCF XSTI is the winner of that one for $25. Thank you, sir. Next up is lot number 6, and hopefully we're going. I mean, I wish we could go even faster and get through this quick, and that's why we can't have a whole bunch of people sending in stuff like we do at our auctions at the Coin Club, because it just takes so much longer to sell this stuff online as it does in person. But anyway. Wish we could do more lots, but we're trying to keep it limited so we're not here all night and into the wee hours. But again, this here is the Australian 2019 Kangaroo, and this is 4 9 silver. Oh, yeah. Jenny Hansen's in it for $19. It's got the Queen, QE2. This is the 2019, and it's got a real cool design, real flashy with not only the design cartwheels, but the silver itself. Majestic bumped it to 20. Jenny back at 21. SoCal 22. Party Pickle 23. Jenny Hansen 25. Guitar Gill says 26. eBay is banning precious metals. It's eBay is not doing that. People are saying that PayPal payments, like you say, but I don't know, Mikey. The rules aren't finalized on any of that, so I'll worry about that once it happens. Little Nitrates in the house. Hello. Jenny Hansen's in the lead at 27, though. Yeah, I know eBay's been changing the rules in different payment programs, and depending on how you take payments, but believe me, eBay makes a ton of money from fees on coins and bullion being sold on eBay. It won't go away all the way. People will figure out what the new rules are, and it'll work out. Guitar Gills at 28. Guitar Gill does not want to let Jenny have this one. You like that squared quarter design? Wish it was real? Well, Greenco, it's real. It's a real coin, the squared quarter. It absolutely is. Jenny Hansen's at 29. It was done in 1982. They're dated 1984, though. They're privately minted, and they're in the World Coin Book that's titled Unusual World Coins. So it is a real piece. And this is an image of a PCGS graded one that we submitted. So Jenny Hansen at 29. Jenny Hansen wants me to probably count this down and tell her she's the winner. So I'll go ahead and start counting it down. Sold to Jenny Hansen, $29. Very cool, Jenny. And I know I will call you to get settled up on all that. And we also owe you some other stuff, and we'll get that taken care of. No problem. All right, this here is lot number 7. What this is, it's a 1973 German-proof 5-mark coin. These are silver. And this one's cool because it's in the original plastic it was sold in from 1970. This is how they sold them. The plastic does have a couple cracks in it, but this is a silver 5-mark, 1973. And this one commemorates, what did I write down that it commemorated? The 125th anniversary of the Frankfurt Parliament, and it's listed as KM 137 in the books. And Majestic Sounds of Coins is up to $15. And I see people trying to talk to me as well. What's going on here? Trying to ask me questions? Kittle can find me one. What are you looking for? The squared quarter? Well, I got one that I'm selling right now, as long as and it's like kind of on hold for a buyer, but we haven't 100% finalized yet, so I guess we'll see soon if that deal goes through or not. All right, sorry, I was getting some text. Jenny Hansen's at 16. Majestic Sounds of Coins comes back at 17. Little Nitrates in the house. Jenny Hansen back at $18 for the German proof commemorative. And what's cool about the German commemoratives, if you guys aren't really collecting them, they do them in 5-mark and then 10-mark, and then nowadays they do them in 10 euro pieces. The eagle designs on them are always different, and they got some really cool eagle designs on some of them, for sure. Jenny's up at 21. $21. And let's see who's all winning here. Is it just Majestic and Jenny fighting? Well, how about this, guys? Stop bidding on this one, Jenny. I actually have a couple more of these that I personally own. I sold a couple to the Coin Club. I'll sell another one to the Coin Club at the same price I did, and I'll get you guys both for $20 each if you both want them. So I don't need you guys running up to 21, 22, whatever. So if both of you guys want them at $20 each, I'll hook you up. Or I'll hook the club up, and then the club will hook you up. So Majestic's in on that. And I'm sure Jenny is too, because she was bidding. Cool, you want one? That's great. Awesome. Everybody wins then. Thank you very much. I just wrote myself a note to do that. And now Jenny wants a square quarter. How come everybody wants a square quarter? Just because we had stickers made up for SoCal Box Race with a squared quarter? I've had one available for months and months and months, and nobody wants it until I put it on his sticker, and now everybody wants it. Okay. I guess the price might just be going up and up and up on it then, too. All right, next up is lot number 8. We've already talked about this. It's another one of the 1780 restrikes of the Maria Teresa. Now, what we did there, little nitrate, I sold one to each Majestic and Jenny for $20 each. So, Jenny Hansen, the square quarter exists. They exist in quarter-ounce silver and half-ounce silver size. The half-ounce is higher mintage. I have one of the quarter ounces, and they also made a few of them in gold. So, but those are all still owned by the guy that minted them. And I contacted him, tried to buy them, and he just wants way too much money for them. So this one here's another one. The reverse is really nice on this one. The obverse does have a couple little slight hazy spots on it. So it's not a perfect example, but it's still a nice Maria Teresa. We got SoCal box breaks up at $18. $18 on the Maria Teresa. So was it going to go to SoCal box breaks? That'll save us a little bit on shipping because I can just hand deliver that one to them. All right, what do we got? Steve Woods says 19. Little nitrate, you can't bid because you're younger than 18. Little nitrate, you can bid as long as you have your parents' permission and as long as you guys are going to settle up, you know, and pay, you know, that's fine. It's remember we add $5 shipping no matter how many things you win. So have a good one, Mikey. Take care. Thanks for joining us. We got Steve Woods at $19, and I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. And I'm getting my phone buzzing a whole bunch. Sorry, I'm a little slow there. I have to check that. And then sold to Steve. I can type his name in. Well, it's sold to Steve Woods. I'm trying to type it. There we go. Sorry about that, Steve. Put you on. So $19 to Steve Woods. Number 9 is next. And this one is one of my favorites. I might even have to bid on it. Lot number 9. Lot number 9 is the 2019 Britannia. And this thing's like perfect. Our club bought a full roll of these back in 2019. We got a couple left. As soon as we got the roll, we put them right in these nice crown size 2x2s. So no spotting, no marks that I can see. Basically a perfect 999, real frosty looking 1 ounce silver Britannia. Jenny Hansen was first at 25 quads. Jenny Hansen got the bid in first. At least on my screen. I'm sure it's the opposite on your screen, but but Jenny Hansen's first on my screen. And if you guys ever question any of that, I'll tell you too bad. No, I can show my screen if it's ever really an issue. But Jenny Hansen's at $25. And it looks like Mr. Hyams there is a little slow, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure. Because I took some time to do that, it looks like Guitar Gill got in first at 27, and Jenny goes right to 28. Is that a proof? I don't think these are technically called proofs. No, these are just the regular bullion issues, but they are definitely proof-like, and they're flashy as heck. But these are not proofs. The proof Britannias, I believe, are different designs altogether. They don't use the same design. That's my understanding of it. Not an expert on it. Guitar Gill at $30. Jenny Hansen says, game over, everyone. $35. Jenny's like, this one is coming home to Kentucky. So, how you like them apples, she's saying. That's what Jenny just said to everybody by typing in 35. So, I'm just going to go ahead and start counting that down while you guys think about what Jenny just did there. So, Jenny Hansen is at 35. Hey, if somebody wants something, what happens in auctions? Sold to Jenny Hansen, $35. Thank you for your bids, everyone. Next up is lot number 10. Let me copy the information in there. Yeah, the Britannias are cool. Now this one here, before you go crazy into bidding, just note that the scent is pretty hazy, and so is the nickel, and the dime's got a little tone. The Franklin half, I mean, all of them have some haze in there. It's not a perfect proof set. I think if you know what you're doing with coins, you could probably, get those and get them to look a little nicer. But it is a 1963 proof set, as a 63 proof set if Sheldon's still listening, but 1963 proof set, and the coins are just a little hazy. So it's not the best that I've ever seen, but Lincoln Central is going to win it for $10 here if no one else bids. They are 90% silver, and then you got the nickel and the cent. And it's in the Capital plastic holder that's got to be worth a couple bucks in and of itself. So Dennis goes to 15. Dennis was the first at 15. Got 3 bids there at 15, but Dennis Berry was first. My Silver Squad comes in at 16. Lincoln's out. Steve Woods says 17. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. Steve Woods at $17. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start counting it down. But just because I start counting it down does not mean no one else can bid. Like Jenny Hansen just said, come on, that's only $18. I'm already buying other stuff. So Jenny Hansen at $18. Jenny Hansen currently at 18. I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. Let Steve think about it for a second. Steve comes in right at 19, right before I could type sold. Jenny's not wasting any time, right back at $20. $20. Jenny Hansen in the lead. $20. Steve says 21. Hey there, Kellen. How you doing? Jenny's back at 22. And I can't even start counting it down. You guys just keep bidding. Steve Woods, 23. Jenny goes right to 25. Again, here's the set. Nice red Capital plastic holder. Proofs, a little hazy. Jenny Hansen, $25, and we're going to go ahead and count it down. There we go, 25 to Jenny Hansen. Only 5 lots remaining. Warning, warning, 5 lots remaining. And Jenny Hansen likes the Australian silver, I hear. So if you want this one, just a hunch, might have to work for it. So here we go. This is the 2019 Australian Kookaburra 49 silver in the original capsule, straight from Australia. The Perth Mint never took it out of the capsule. This is how we got it. Jenny just jumps right to $25. SoCal comes back at 27. Guitar Gill at 29. These are awesome. And the Kookaburras, if you don't collect those, they just change the design every year. And the 2019s were a really cool one, I think, with basically the sunset there and the kook. Jenny went to 30. Guitar Will to 31. Steve Woods 33. Jenny Hansen 35. Steve Woods 37. Everybody likes the Kookaburras, and I wish I would have ordered a whole roll of these for the club back then, but usually I only get a couple for each year, and this is the last one I think the club has. So I think I have 1 Australian koala left in the club inventory, but yeah, this is it for the Kookaburras. Jenny Hansen says out. Steve Woods, $37 in the lead. I'm going to go ahead and count it down. Wish I would have ordered more too. I know, Jenny. Wish I would have ordered more of a lot of stuff just with the silver prices lately. That sold to Steve Woods for $37. Thank you, Steve, and thanks to all the bidders. Next up, we got a nice one for Team 87, 1987 Silver Eagle in the Anex MS69 holder. Opening bid of only $1. And I looked at the coin pretty close, and there's a couple scratches in the holder, light scratches, but the coin itself is pretty much perfect. I mean, there might be one little tiny mark if you really pick it apart, but it's a nice one. It's not spotty, it's not marked up. Really nice 1987 MS69 Anex graded Silver Eagle. And quads goes to 30. Got some bids coming in a little lower than that, but quads.com is at $30. Everybody's bidding lower than 30. They must have missed your bid, quads. Quads.com at $30. Steve Wood says 33. And is that focusing all right? Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at my other screen where they got me watching my stream at 144p all of a sudden. I don't know why, but all right. Quads.com goes to 35. Steve comes right back at 36. Again, thanks to all the bidders. Appreciate your participation and all the support you guys give to the club. And of course, you guys are getting some cool stuff too. Steve Woods at $36. Quads comes right back at 37, right when I'm ready to count it down. No problem. Little nitrate lending in a hand, trying to keep everybody in order. Appreciate that. Quads.com at $37. 37, and I just clicked the wrong button there. Let's try to get this back up. There we go. Quads at $37. Jenny Hansen comes out of nowhere at $39. And there we go. We'll give you another look at it since we got a new bidder in. $30 to Jenny Hansen. Sorry, $39 to Jenny Hansen. We'll go ahead and count it down. Looks like everybody else might be out. I didn't hear from Quads, though. You better send that to Paisley. Paisley and Daddy Show. I said Team 87. I was wondering if you could hear me all the way in Hawaii. Paisley and Daddy Show, $40. Team 87, baby. And if you guys don't know the Paisley and Daddy Show, we've ran links to them in the past and talked about them. They support not only me, but they've supported the Glendale Coin Club in the past. And Sheldon and his daughter do some great videos. So if you want to watch some really cool videos about what people get in the mail, and they're in Hawaii too. So they're fun. You should check them out. Go ahead and count it down. Paisley and Daddy Show is in the lead. There you go. $40 to the Paisley and Daddy Show. Thank you again for all the bids. Boomba is what you say to that one. As the great Roy Driscoll once said, boomba. Next up is lot number 13. And that's here is a box. And in this box, you will get a box. And in that box, oh, you get a coin. Okay. And that coin, and you got the certificate there too, is, let me get out of there, the year 2000 proof. And that looks about perfect. I don't know. Year 2000, it is Philadelphia Mint Mark, 2000p. Proof Silver Eagle. Nothing wrong with that. The box and the coin. You get it all. Richard was at 25, SoCal 32, Greg Berkovitz 36. Bunch of boxes, yep. Greg Berkovitz at $36 is in the lead, and that's a nice coin. It's a beauty, but it's a proof. Not BU. It is beautiful, but it is a proof. Guitar Gill comes in at 37. Galen V's still playing. He's at 38. $38 on the proof Silver Eagle. Galen V is at 38. Araceli. Galen has the first bid at 38. If you're interested, you got to go $1 higher. Majestic comes right in and says $40 though. $40. Majestic Sounds of Coins. Remind everybody again, make sure you guys are watching live and on live chat. Sometimes the stream can get delayed. You might have to refresh. And when I say make sure you're watching live, when you hover, if you're on a computer at least, when you look at the video and hover your mouse over, there should be a red dot next to where it says live. If there's not a red dot, you're not watching live. So that's how you do that. Steve Woods at 43. See my message. Maybe when you get older hidden? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, can you please send whatever I won to Lima Echo Numismatics? Okay. You want me to send that medal to Lima? I will do that. Absolutely. Very generous, Lincoln. And that is our 2019 Copper Glendale Coin Club medal. I will definitely do that. Very generous of you to do that. Awesome. So what do we got here? Oh, Rob found another proof. Onabushu. I hope it's a little nicer condition than that first one because that one was not in good shape. Majestic at 45. Steve Woods at 46. I'm sitting here rambling on, talking, giving away other prizes for Lincoln's prize to Lima, and you guys are still bidding there. Look at that. Majestic at 47. And yeah, I mean, I'll get it close on this. This is like, you can look at, you can see the make and model of my camera and the reflection darn near. Yeah, they do a good job on the proofs. And this is one that's in nice shape. Majestic Sounds of Coins at $47. Slightly better. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you find proofs in circulation. They're going to be beat up. I'm going to go ahead and count it down. Majestic got it. $47. Let me write that down. And that is the last silver coin of the night. We got 2 lots left, though. So you know what that means. Breaking out the gold. Breaking out the gold coins. Well, in bars, I guess. Steve Woods, you were a little too late there with 48. And I know I do appreciate the higher bid, but on my screen, I had already said sold. So gotta do it that way. So, Cal, you know you're not supposed to bid until I type in the opening bid and the information on what we're even doing, but I guess everybody's doing it. So, but no, I'll just for, I'll go ahead and put it in there. Lot number 14 is the Carat Bars. 1 gram gold bar, and it's on the card here. And it's 1 gram. And let me see if I can read anything. It's 4 nines fine. It's got the serial number on the bar. It says Nadir Gold. And these are the ones I think you can get like in the gold ATMs. They'd spit one of these out if you pay the huge premium. And oh, look at all these bids that I got to figure out who's winning. We got a bid of 50. We got a bid of 60. Galen V was the first at 60. Jenny Hansen's at 65. Greg Burns comes in at 67. I see Greg. Would you look at it? Would you look at it? What am I supposed to look at? Looking at my gold? Jenny Hansen says 70. $70. And we got 1 more gold coin coming up after this. And that's pretty much it. And you know what? We just might do one of the Michael Kittle style giveaways here right at the end just for fun because I won't even take anything out of the club inventory. I'll find something here on my desk that I can do. Steve Woods at 71, and I'll start looking around for that just for fun. Just as a thank you to everyone who's stuck around and hung out with us all. I'll do another. Jenny Hansen at 72. Little Nitrate, thanks for the help. I'm pretty good on it, though, but if you see me or hear me say anything totally out of order, definitely any help's appreciated. I appreciate it. Steve Woods at 73. Jenny Hansen, 75. Steve Woods, 76. Lima's going to be right back. Well, hopefully you'll be right back by the time we're done selling the next one because we'll do a quick giveaway. $76. Steve Woods. Remember, if you win items, you need to send me an email with your information, and then I'll get you a total, and I'll send you an invoice by PayPal, where you can go ahead and if you know your total, you can go ahead and send me your stuff by PayPal, and I'm going to mail things out to the address that PayPal gives me, your PayPal confirmed address, unless you arrange that with me in advance and be really clear about that. So I got Steve Woods at $76. Little nitrite, I ain't got any of that stuff working. So, Steve Woods. Steve Woods sold for $76. Thank you very much. Let me write that down. And is that Don Barry I hear?
It is. If you want to bring me up, you can give away this nice Colombian $50.
Well, do you want me to do that before the last lot? Should we
No. This can. Oh, you can do it now or later.
Little nitrate, tell me. Because I have some here I want to give away too. But if you want to do two giveaways, I guess we can do two giveaways. And you'll mail it out?
I'll mail it out tomorrow.
All right. So, Little Nitrate, should we do a giveaway right now before we get to that last lot? What do you think? I think Little Nitrate's on board for that. So let's go ahead and share the love here. Looks like Mr. Don. How do you want to give it away? Are you going to do the giveaway and you're going to pick who wins, or?
Oh no, you do it normal.
I got to roll the 100-sided die to see who wins. Okay, so here we're going to do a giveaway before we get to the last lot. I'll just do a quick preview of the last lot. This is not the giveaway. It's going to be a Mexican Dos Pesos gold, so you might want to stay around for that. But first, Don Barry is going to give away that Colombian $50. You want to tell us anything about the Colombian $50?
It's $18.93, Colombian $50, and Mike Kittle's going to give it away.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for those of you that aren't familiar with how I do giveaways when I do my own shows, what we do is the next thing that I type in the chat is going to be a word. It'll be a small word, and it's going to be one time per person. Don't guess more than one time. All you have to do is type the same word I do. Take your time. Everybody will have a chance to win. It says there's 54 people watching. If all 54 of you, well, 53, because I'm not going to type it in, or I'm not going to be, but if all 54 type it exactly the same, every single one of you will still have a chance to win. And I'll then roll dice to see which one of you is the winner. If you spell it wrong, you're out. Capital, small letters, I don't care about. If you type more than once, you're out. If you retract your comments, you're out. So just wait till I type. The next thing I type, you type it exactly like I do. Take your time. We'll give everybody a chance to do it. And everyone, now, if you don't want to win that Colombian half, don't type what I type and let somebody else win it. So good luck to everybody, one per person, and good luck. Yes, those were minted for the Chicago World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition.
Yeah, just make sure. Just make sure that you send your email, your address to Mike, and he'll get it to me so I can get it out to you. Just keep everything the same.
Yeah, so if you win this, you can still claim it through me with your address, and I'll forward that address on the Don, so you can do that. Remember, only once per person. If we count down to your name and you look like the winner, and then we see that you've guessed more than once, you're out, and we'll pick somebody else. So, and some of you guys are putting the wrong thing on there on purpose, just so I have to dance around your name. That's fine. So I'll give you guys another like 15, 20 seconds or so to get in on there. One guess per person. Last call. All you got to do is type in 1893 if you want a chance to win that. But don't type it in again if you've already done it. And if you've messed up, I'm sorry. You have no chance to win. So, but there'll be another giveaway right after our last lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and type in for last call real quick. And JW wants me to roll a 2. Is JW even the second person on my screen? Yeah, he is actually. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and type in stop. Right there where Moose Sox messed up and typed the wrong number anyway. Bob Thompson was the last in. And Lima, sorry, you just got in right after I typed in stop. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to get you in on that, but I don't know. I think rules have to be rules. I don't know. Let's see how many we got here. I think we only got about, let me quickly count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We got about 45 people that got in on this. So what I'm going to do is I got these Dungeons and Dragons dies. This one is 0 through 1. This one's 00 through 90. This will be the 10 spot. This is the 1 spot. If I roll all zeros, it's like 0, 0, 0, that means 100. So we can get numbers 1 through 100 here. Whatever I roll, if I roll over 50, I'm just going to roll again. But if I roll anything under 50, we'll count down and see who the winner is. But let's try. The first roll, 74. We didn't have 74 answers. Next one's 58. We didn't have 58. Next, we got 00, 4. So whoever was the 4th person on my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, if I can remember how to do this. We got to go like this. We're going to go up to the top here where I said 1893. The 4th person who said 1893 is going to be the winner. Ant 2242, 1893. JW, 2nd, 1893. DTT did not say 1893. Steve Woods, 3rd with 1893. Paisley and Daddy Show, number 4, 1893. That is a correct response. Now we scroll through to see, did Paisley and Daddy Show screw up by saying more than one answer? Did Paisley and Daddy Show blow it? No, they didn't. And there's where I say stop. We'll scroll through again. Everyone who typed 1893 had an equal and fair shot, and it's going to Paisley and Daddy Show. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in Paisley and Daddy Show, confirm they won, and get this craziness off the screen, please. Wow, that's crazy. All right, back to this. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Paisley and Daddy Show. And knowing them, they'll probably use that as a giveaway on their own channel. Or maybe he needs a first typeset. I don't know. All right, let me write that down. Paisley and Daddy Show. I'll get your address information to Don, and he'll be able to send that out. So what we do is we have the last lot here in the auction. You guys ready for the last lot of the auction? And after this last lot, don't run away because we'll have another quick giveaway. Just for fun. And that has nothing to do with the coin club. Don Berry just donated that that coin, and I'll be donating the last coin. So here we go. Lot number 15, Mexico, 2 pesos, gold. And Don Berry, you're off the screen there. I hope you know that. And actually, I'll bring myself up. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but we'll go ahead and bring this up. This here is the 1945 Mexico, 2 pesos gold coin, 0.0482 ounces actual gold weight. It's in mint state, beautiful piece. This is also a restrike here. This doesn't mean it was minted in 1945. They're all dated 1945. Well, not all dated 1945. There are earlier dates, but all the ones minted since 1945. But anyway, it's a nice chunk of gold. And let me check who's the bidding. I see a DT&T up at $100. Jenny Hansen at 105. Those look like the high bids so far, but let me go through and verify. Looks like Jenny Hansen at 105 currently. Steve Woods, 110. Sure, live and live chat. We're getting some earlier bids in there that are coming in way under. But Steve Woods at 110. Jenny Hansen said out, then says nope, and then says 115. Oh, that's cruel, Jenny. Steve Woods was already like, we're getting ready to get this coin in the mail. Oh, cruel. But so fun. So fun. All right, 115. Jenny Hansen for the 2 pesos gold. 2 pesos. 115. Steve Wood says 116. Jenny Hansen says 120. Jenny Hansen just wants it. Jenny Hansen wants it. So Steve already kind of set out, so I'll start counting it down. I'll give you a chance to get back in if you were really, really messing around there. Steve says right back in at 121. Now, Don just sent me a text saying he thinks he might be able to get more of these. Don, do you have others available so we can get Steve and Jenny one?
Sure.
Sure. how about let's stop the bidding. It's getting way out of hand. Jenny's going to 140. Let's just do each of them at 120. Is that what you want to do, Don?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So Jenny and Steve, if you both want one at 120, you're just paying. You're getting to the point where you're paying too much, in my opinion, and Don's opinion probably. So we want to be fair to both of you.
Yes, absolutely.
So both of you guys are cool with that. Steve, if you want to be back in at 120 for one, I'm sure you will because you just bid 129. So Steve Woods, Jenny Henson. All right. Very cool. And thank you very much, guys. That was the last item of the auction. Thank you all for the support of the Glendale Coin Club. Means a lot to me and Don and all the members, I'm sure. So thank you for that. And I'll go ahead and get that extra dos pesos from Don, and we'll be able to get all you guys taken care of. Mike, very fair doing what you do. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I mean, if I can get two people to get the coins and get them at the price lower than their bid, and that's a win-win-win-win for everybody. So I don't have a Colombian half. I just got this lightly toned, boring 1964 Kennedy, Philadelphia. It's a 90% silver coin, but if anybody wants it, I'll give it away. All you got to do is type the next word that I type into chat. Jenny, do you want me to call you tomorrow, or do you want me to wait until next week once the week starts? I didn't know if you want me to call you over the weekend. Just let me know. But we can get it settled up. So this one here this one's going to be a giveaway. All you're going to have to do is type the next. Jenny, we're not bidding on this. Come on. If you want a Kennedy half of 64, I'll sell you one. But this one's a free giveaway. All you're going to do is type the next one I type in the chat. You saw how it's done. Once per person, spell whatever I type in, whether it's numbers, letters, words, whatever. Spell it correctly. Take your time. Everybody will have a chance to win as long as you, once per person. I'll roll the dice. That's it. If you want to win it, it's a 90% silver 1964 Kennedy. All you got to do is type the next thing I type in, and that is it. Good luck, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks, Guitar Guild. I think it was a fun meeting, too. I'm glad we can at least meet this way. I wish we could meet in person, of course, but if we were meeting in person, we wouldn't have, 56, 57 people still watching and hanging out with us either. So, Don, anything else you want to say? Because we're going to wrap it up right when we're done with this, probably.
No, I'm good. Thank you guys all for coming. Appreciate you all hanging out for a little over 2 hours or something.
It's about 2.5.
More than that.
Yeah.
2.5 hours. Yeah. So thank you guys. We will of course be here next month if we're not at the library, which I doubt we will be. And even if we do get to go back to the library, we do plan on trying to have a little bit of a virtual meeting as well.
We'll try to do something to keep, because this is not the third time we've done this online. Once we get back to our library meeting room, we're going to have to try to, keep everybody else involved some way, whether we have to bring one of the computers and a webcam to the meeting, and at least for the speaker and, announcements and fun stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and type in last call to type that in. And then I'm going to go ahead and type stop, and then I'm going to roll these dice. And we're going to see who gets this $50. So thanks, Don. Appreciate that. Thanks for all your help. 65 people, says Little Nitro. I see about 55, but that's okay. It's been bouncing around. I saw 70-something at one point, but that's cool. Oh, Rosemary just typed that wrong, but I'm going to type in stop. Robert Dix was the last person to get in. Let me count how many were here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 20. That's about 30. That's about 40. It looks like about between 40 and 50 people entered. So any number we roll under 50, we'll count out and see how it goes. So here we go. Good luck. That one was number 23. Got the 20 and the 3. So whoever's the 23rd person on my list here, and once again, I'll share the screen, and it's going to get a little crazy looking in the center there, but don't pay any attention to that. Right there, GCC, Glendale Coin Club. First was Ed. Ed, you wish I would have rolled a 1, didn't you? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lincoln typed CCC. That's wrong. 7 was Greg Burns then. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 was Greg Berkovitz. 15, that's incorrect. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 was Lima. That does say GCC, just spelled kind of weird or capital weird. Lima's 20, 21, 22, 23, Jason Harvilla. Now let me double check this because I don't want to have to give away multiple coins if I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Golden Fire. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Greg. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is Lima. 21, 22, 23, Jason Harvilla. Now we take a quick look. Did Jason enter more than once? I hope you didn't. I don't want to have to do this again. I really hope you didn't. I think you know the rules. Not your first rodeo. I think that's pretty good. And let me just double check that. This is where I said stop. I don't see Jason saying anything else, so I'm going to confirm it. Jason Harvilla. Perfect. Let me get that off the screen. That's craziness. And let me get that. Oh, wrong button I clicked there. I don't want to show the blank screen with Don not here anymore. All right, very good. Jason, I better write that down so I know to send that to you when you claim it. 1964 was Jason Harvilla. Well, congratulations. All right, let's see what else we got here. Anyway, I just want to thank everyone for hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Lima Echoes asking Don Berry, did you get my email for a sticker trade? Don, if you're still listening and can answer that, there you go.
Yes, I did, and I will get back to you on that. Yeah.
There you go. Lima, Jenny Hansen, do you want me to, I didn't see, did you want me to call you over the weekend or do you want me to wait until next week? You let me know, but I'll get a hold with you so we can settle this up. And I'll talk to you about the squared quarter too, because I might have one. I have someone kind of in the middle of buying it, but they haven't like finalized and said yes 100%. But what else we got going on here? Don't forget to call you. I'll call you early next week. Yep. There you go. Perfect. I didn't want to bug you over the weekend either. Again, thanks again for all the positive comments. Thanks again for joining us. And I will probably see you at another Coin Club meeting, next month. It's always the second Friday of the month. So that's when we'll do it. And looks like Paisley and Daddy Show says, Don, I'm going to email you looking to buy some stickers. There you go. So you'll be getting an email from Sheldon. Anybody else have any other final questions or anything there? No idea how much those square quarters are selling for? Yeah, Midnight Silver Run. The cheapest I've sold them for is probably about $200-300. The most I've sold them for is about $800. Now, some people on eBay are going even crazier with them, but they're not cheap. They're real low mintage too. And great club meeting. Thanks again, guys. The next thing I'll probably be doing is sometime in the next month, I plan on doing my own auction. Might go through some more rolls of Lincoln cents. I know I got to do a mail call video. I got a PCGS unboxing coming up. So I'll be doing some other live streams before the next Coin Club meeting. But if you just want to know about the next Coin Club meeting, it'll be the second Friday of July. And same place. And we'll probably start it early again, 6 p.m. instead of our normal 7 p.m. because I think more people can participate if we do the 6 p.m. So again, thanks everybody. Hope you had fun. Congrats to all the winners. And thanks again to Rod Gillis of the ANA for the talk. And with that, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight. Take care.